Huh.
Good evening.
Yeah, I was going to say that that was Woot Master who joined first, and then I thought we were going to wait to add Lio once things had gotten dull.
No, I'll wait my turn.
Okay.
Wow, we have Gilded in here. That's interesting.
Well,
Hello.
I was reading through the arguments from Woot. Here, let's take a look at his thingamajig here. Let's get.
Oh, it's pretty entertaining. I like the funhouse mirrors he's got going on here.
Well, the reason why I decided to go with Gilded is I saw him arguing about Donald Trump and the military and transgender, and I was like, I believe we had a civil discussion about this between Pool Guy and Gilded, and I thought that between Gilded, you served in the military, correct?
Yes.
And I thought that basically a first-hand from not only a transgender but also a military background, an informed decision would out supersede me going up to Wootmaster and going, "You stupid liberal, you shut your mouth." So yeah, I mean, I'm
Also,
probably going to do that through the stream at some point in time. But I mean, if I can go for pardon the pun, a trumped win right there. I mean, hey.
Also, real quick, Sheldon wanted to know if he'd be allowed onto this.
Sure. I guess why not.
Okay, because no, this primarily started with him trying to talk trash to Sheldon and
Okay.
put him on blast. So I thought it'd be fair.
Which, as everybody has seen, I imagine most people who follow me on Twitter might have watched. He's mostly using that as leverage to go after Vita again.
Which, again, I'm not really too concerned with the fact that he's going after Vita. I take issue with his lack of moral compunction and where his values lie.
Oh, no, I certainly have a lot of thoughts on that.
I'm going to be fair right now. I'm not going to talk too much shit until he gets here to defend himself. I'm going to try to be fair about it.
Okay.
But my plan is to sit back, let Coyote have his say, and then I'm gonna be the after party show on that one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a couple things that I've actually already saved onto my personal Telegram archive, just so that way I have the links all ready and I can link those to you.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions that I should have set up.
Well, I mean, it's your stream. We can start with you if you'd like.
1 second here.
No house rules. You haven't got to let the house go first.
I guess we're going after all. Joined by Coyote.
All right, what's up, you lovely gentlemen?
Indeed, sir. One moment. I was like, oh wait, he said he got off at 5 o'clock. So yeah, I guess so. Kaio, Lio, Convoy.
Kyle Lio.
Like, what did I say?
Kyle, Lio, Convoy.
Well, Kyle, that's an interesting ship.
That's our new ship, Lio.
Okay,
Oh no!
We've given the ship a name. It's canon.
No!
Now, as I was about to explain to freaking Wootmaster, as you can see, I'm not freaking militant about ships, so I'm prepared to give some leeway.
All right, that's good. That's good.
All right, cool. Let's see. Gilded Dash, the one I wanted to get to right off the bat, and so on. I saw that you were taking precedent or issue with Donald Trump's ruling on transgender in the military. It just so happens that Gilded Dash here is trans and a former serving member of the military. We had a discussion between him and Pool Guy, who was also military. I could pull up the question specifically, but I'm going to try and wing it here right off the bat.
Yeah, no problem.
Could you understand that transitioning is a highly stressful, difficult... I mean, feel free to butt in here, Gilded, if I'm tanking this at any point in time. It's a very hard time, and military is also an extremely stressful thing where people are barking orders at you. You're probably not getting the best food possible, not the best sleep, and you're maybe in potentially situations where you're being shot at and broken down and reshaped into a fighting workforce. Whether I agree with it or not, I could certainly understand that there are people more informed, and I understand that perhaps Orange Man isn't the doctor you wanted to hear that from, but he may have been told by experts. It is something that should have, what is am I being unreasonable here when I'm pitching? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I could see if it was just a ban on, like, active infantry combat. But isn't it a blanket ban on, like, any positions in the military?
Any position in the military is stressful. Anyone that tells you that there's no such thing as a stressful position in the military is lying to you.
Correct.
So, do you believe your transition hindered your ability to do your job? Or, as a matter of fact, are you transitioning? or what's your situation as a trans person?
Okay, I didn't start transition until after I got out of the military, but I can honestly say that I feel my gender dysphoria did give me issues while I was in the military.
Do you think those issues warranted a blanket ban from all positions?
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I think do you mind explaining the ban a bit further, because I think it doesn't it specifically deal with transition, not just dysphoria?
Well, yes, it deals with transition because of the fact that dysphoria can be treated technically, but it depends on the person. And a lot of times people don't realize they have dysphoria, and when they do, then they make their decisions there what they want to do. But transitioning is rough on a person, both mentally and physically, because if you decide to fully transition, you go through a lot of physical changes and emotional changes. I used to be, I used to be able to get, before I started transitioning, I would have given Leo a freaking run for his money as an asshole. Nowadays, I'm not, I'm not quite that person anymore. But, because
if you honestly believe, thanks to your experiences in the military, I would never try to refute that. If you honestly believe that transition-related issues in any position in the military warrants a blanket ban, then you know what? I'll have to take your word for it.
I mean, it's not even what I think. It's just, let's just go with some numbers here. It is a well documented fact that people that are transitioning are 40% more likely to, be suicidal.
Yeah, that's true. That number stems from the way we treat transitioning people. And as a matter of fact, studies have been shown to prove that using correct genders and affirming the gender actually reduces.
You could stop trying to treat me like I'm Vito or this whole group here by saying this, that, and the other. Again, you understand that part of basic training is breaking someone down that involves using insults that are, maybe not necessarily. That's probably not the best place that you'd want to transition into.
Yeah, real quick. Part of being broken down is intentionally misgendering you to get you mad.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's not even talk about basic training, okay? Because we all know in basic training they break you down. Let's say you start transitioning in the active military. My experiences in the military is you have to stop and think about it. While you're in the military, it's a lot like being in fucking high school, and if you don't think it is, then you really don't understand. You have your cliques, and people give you shit for different reasons. It's not this, just this whole big thing. Like, people give you shit for little things. I mean,
Absolutely.
I was a gamer in the military, and I got fucking flaks of shit just for being a gamer. I couldn't imagine what it would have been like if I would have been transitioning at the time.
And, I
give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay.
Sure. When it comes back,
I wanted to make a quick argument, because this one is actually surprisingly enough in Woot's favor, I think, which is that a lot of different demographics do have, specific things that can drive them closer to suicide as well, and they all have those suicide rates. And these are all things they'll probably encounter in basic. It seems like a slippery slope if we start banning people based off suicide rates when these all exist for every demographic.
Look, here's the
No. See, this is the thing. If you take in every demographic, and this is the thing. I've done the research because I did a lot of research before I decided to transition, because I wanted to understand what I was getting myself into. The fact is compared to any demographic, I mean, if any demographic, transgender people are more likely to commit suicide.
Well, the thing is, that's not a static number, right? That number is influenced by a lot of variables. You don't just commit suicide just because you're trans.
Okay, well,
that's disingenuous to imply that.
That's not what I. That's.
Can I get a quick spot in here?
Yeah.
All right. So, Woot, the point I was trying to get across, and I understand it's very easy to fucking find one boogeyman to blame for all the world's problems that are making you upset. I do it every day with liberals online. I am assuming you do it in the opposite direction. I'm asking you to be self-aware. There is, from what it sounds like, at least to some degree, I'm not going to argue about percentage points, but there seems to be reasons, somewhat rational, that would suggest that that was a reasonable course of action?
I actually
As
have
a matter
little...
of fact, yeah, Obama was briefed on the same thing, and he was the one who made the decision. No, we're not going to do this.
Hey, yo,
Right?
bruh. Okay, you pump your head full of fucking hormones.
Rocky.
That'll fuck with your head.
All right, Rocky.
And then you mutilate yourself. You chop off
All
your
right,
weenie.
Rocky.
You tell me.
I have a whole bunch of insults for Woot. I'd prefer we work up to them.
Okay.
Real quick.
I wanted to make an entrance.
I hate to interrupt, but going back to the other person saying to me, yes, it's right. It's not a static number. Yes, you can't just say, okay, this is going to be a thing because of the numbers, but it's not just that. It's why put people in a situation to make it worse for them.
Yeah.
I came out of the military with PTSD. I had 15 years of it, not even diagnosed because I didn't even know I had it.
So here, let me try and drill this to you, Woot. I understand you people are slowly but surely taking YouTube and Twitter and being able to ride out the right there. You
What do you
can't
mean by
do that
you
with the
people?
military. I know you'd like to, but you can't. It won't work. We'll turn into
My simple
we'll
belief.
turn into the French, and we don't want that. We want a
My
military
simple
that can
belief-
fight.
Yeah, how
we
are we
don't want
supposed
a
to
bunch
fight
of...
for the Jews if we can't?
Okay, that's
My
fine.
simple belief is if you want to go ahead and serve your country, and you are able to, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm like 99% ready, so that doesn't count. If you are able to, as a matter of fact, I'm reading an article right now. Transgender troops have been serving openly and successfully since 2016, including hundreds who have deployed to combat zones. The chiefs of staff to each military branch have testified that there's been no negative impact on readiness. I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass, right?
Did I turn to you and say, it is making me uncomfortable that someone is transgender?
Your point is that there are reasons, but I'm also telling you that I have reasons as well. And as a matter of fact, I do my reading on this shit.
You know
I'm
what?
not just
I don't-
doing it
no,
'cause-
hold on.
Can I please get a word in edgewise?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'll go ahead and let Anthony go
Yeah.
first. This is the stream.
Okay,
It is
but
polite.
here's my whole thing though, Woot. You like to retweet yourself and as well as talk about death to Trump and stuff like that. You're not nearly as, honest as you're trying to go here. You'd like very much to sit there and you talk about, especially like, you bitch about censorship when it comes to things like artwork and stuff. You don't want it being criticized. The person who wants censorship is you. You seem to like, it's okay if it lets the left through. And it seems
no,
very
actually,
dishonest.
any censorship that hurts people, even people I don't like, including Josh Vita.
Then why did you want to ban?
That's
BronyCon?
bad.
Why did you want to ban from BrodyCon?
I didn't actually. I just posted what he said. See, the thing about it is, I didn't get Josh Vita banned from BronyCon. Josh Vita got Josh Vita banned from
this
BronyCon.
bullshit. Holy crap! All right, so here, let me ask you this: I almost got kicked out of fucking BabsCon just because I sat there and said. And yeah, here's my whole thought. If you've ever heard fucking Medicare make the remark, never apologize to a trans furry, it's never good enough. I said when they were bitching about fucking goddamn, J.K. Rowling, I said, look, I already don't buy her stuff. I haven't watched her movie in years. That's all I can do. And I said, I hope you guys don't make the same mistake BronyCon does by trying to focus on fucking, basically people's feelings over the well-being of kids. I had to spend 2 to 3 fucking hours pleading my case to get myself unbanned from the convention. Don't tell me that, and I hate Vita. Here, let me spell this out to you, Woot. If I had a gun with 2 bullets and Vita and you were in a room, you'd be just fine. So you get this idea out of your fucking head that me and Vita are boys.
Censorship. You're saying it's censorship. Censorship is not getting banned from a convention. That doesn't even.
Oh, here
fit
comes
the
this leftist
definition of
bullshit.
censorship.
Let's see, you can be kicked off of Twitter and YouTube, and you could just talk out on the. Okay, there's Steve Shives.
I'm not talking
disingenuous
about you
motherfucker.
getting kicked off of Twitter. I'm talking about you getting banned from a convention for violating its rules. That's not censorship. Okay.
How do you violate?
You're being incredibly disingenuous here, man.
Wait,
what
how
the
do
fuck? That's stupid.
You stand
That's so
behind the
dumb.
fact, you absolutely stand behind those degenerates fucking goddamn putting their feelings over the well-being of kids. You're disgusting. You're a reprobate.
As a matter of fact,
dial-
I feel
hold
like
on.
we're getting a little bit off track here. Let's talk about Grizzly the medic. Let's talk about Grizzly the medic and the pedophile situation
may I
at
please get a
BronyCon.
word in edgewise?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
I think we've taken a really sharp left turn. Can we dial things back a little bit so that way we don't get in a yelling match and just like actually have a dialogue going on?
It's Leo's.
Oh
turn.
yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah.
Is there even a dialogue
I don't like
to be
being
had here?
I don't like being the voice of reason. It's not a good look for me. So can we
Look at this big
pull it
brain
back a little
focus
bit?
over
I'll be
here.
glad I'm not reading off my script. But anyways.
All right, I'm gonna ask some real quick questions here, specifically for Woot Master. All right, Woot. So, from your experience, do you think the majority of trans people tend to be more left-leaning and more right-leaning?
More left leaning.
Okay, so now, from your personal viewpoint within the left, do you believe that people on the left consider America's military power to be an extension of their colonialism, or that it is a benevolent force throughout the world?
There's no easy answer to that fucking question, but it's certainly not fucking
Hey,
Ben
benevolent.
Shapiro, answer
Hold
the
on,
question.
hold on.
No,
Let me answer.
you're presenting a dichotomy where there isn't.
Okay, then
none.
give me your
The
answer.
military
Then
isn't
give me your answer.
either A, bad, or B, good.
Then
That's
give me your
really
answer.
disingenuous.
Then what's your answer?
I think the military does what America's top leaders wanted to do. The military in and of itself is only an extension of what
Okay,
politicians wanted to do. So the military itself,
That's
no,
fair.
it's
Now,
not bad. It does
my
what it
question,
has to do.
my follow-up
That's how
question is:
militaries
What do you
always said.
think? What do you think of our top guys within the United States that lead our military and tell them what to do?
I respect the opinion of lots of the generals and shit. The generals have to bow down to the president. He's the chief in
Yes.
command.
Correct. He
You
has
know?
to because he is. You're right. He is the commander in chief. Now, what's your opinion of him?
I'm not a huge fan to say
You
the
want him
least.
dead, and you
hold
would
on,
celebrate
hold
his
on,
assassination.
please. Okay.
I mean, I can't really.
I'm about to finish up here. Then you guys can go at it, and then I'll step back for a little bit more. Let Coyote and him get into what they need to. Here's the thing: when it comes to the transgender ban, and this is coming from a man who's from military background. My family was in the military. Some of them still are in the military. We got a long line of people who do horrible things to people, just as in nature. That's how most people are. Why in the world would you have a problem with these people that you value, and I personally value as well, just for the note, not having to be in a situation where they fight for a bunch of wealthy bureaucrats?
Military service is compulsory. It's
You're
different
right,
if it was
it
a
is.
draft.
Well, why would you be okay with somebody making that choice?
If they want to, that's their own volition. Like, why would I not be okay with it? If you want to go serve in the military, do what you do. I don't know your fucking situation.
And then
There's
if
no
that is
reason, like-
if that is the value you hold, then why do you care about tutting anybody on anything?
I don't care about the individuals within the military. It's a top-down problem. Why would I go after individual military service members? As a matter of fact, Purple Tinker made this mistake. As you will remember, when she was talking about this, she was like, I hate everybody in the military.
So
I
is
think
that a
that's
view-
a mistake to do.
Is that a view you just hold specifically for the military, or is it a view you hold in general other areas?
There's other areas where I prefer looking at issues from a wider stance than just person to person. Now, that doesn't apply to everything, obviously, or else I
To be
wouldn't
fair,
be here.
yeah, the military is kind of a special case, and I do agree with Woot Master on that particular.
Yeah, not necessarily,
Subject.
but real quick, Anthony, you got a super chat, and then we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Coyote
Yeah,
for a
okay.
little bit. That's
Hold
Hold
on,
on, hold on, real quick. Can I just get a little bit more on that military thing? Now,
sure.
the thing is my thing about transgenders in the military isn't that I have a problem with somebody that's already finished their transition going into the military. It's people that are in the middle of transitioning that I feel are that's an issue, because like I said, there's a lot of things you're going through. You're going through hormonal changes, you're going through physical changes. You're just not in a situation where you should probably be putting yourself in even more stress. You should
Bro, it doesn't end when you quote unquote end transitioning or after you get surgery. It keeps going.
Who
Dude,
just said
there's no
that?
finish line.
I think that was who did just say that? Was that
That was
Rocky?
Arceus Vault.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that information. I think I know this since I've been transitioning for 5 years.
Well,
But you know,
motherfucker,
but thank you for
motherfucker,
telling the transitioning person what transition is.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, listen, okay? No, you just said the opposite. You're like, oh no, it's different if you're post-op than if you're transitioning.
Well,
Like,
it
no,
can
motherfucker.
be.
No, I said it is different because of the fact that you've worked through most of your stuff already.
Well, I mean, physically, absolutely.
Isn't-
I
isn't that
can't.
the
Yeah,
highest
physically,
demographic
and a lot, and by that
themselves?
point, you've gone through most of your, most of the changes that the hormones are going to do to you. You've already gone through. You've had a chance to adjust to everything.
Very nice, Kaio. So let me finally get to the super chats. Okay, so
Everything's just honky dory after that.
Did I say that?
all right,
knows?
Rocky, you were supposed to fill in for Sheldon, not hold my beer for Sheldon. Anyways. Oh, you thought Sheldon was going to be risque. Wait, hold, let me show you how it's done. Anyways, Awesome Taco says, look, oh, yo, what, what the hell is that?
He's showing you tits.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fascinating, Taco. So, Super Hooper Duper Trooper, or Super Hooper... Yeah, did I say it right? Yeah. Able to body means just physically and mentally, but I'm 91 pounds in the fucking army. That's... for a man? Okay.
That sounds... Eat a burger.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'll
I'll
buy
buy
a little
you a
bitch,
sandwich.
come on.
Eat a burger.
You should keep that money and go on down to the cantina or whatever.
Get some gains, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead, if it's okay with everybody else, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Coyote and Woot, let them have that out, and then I'll have some fun.
I'm hoping Coyote manages to call out some of the more interesting things there, but go ahead. I'd like to hear this.
Yeah, okay. That was interesting. What's up, Woot? I'm Coyote.
Hey, Coyote, it's good to meet you. Like, for realsies.
Yeah, all right. So I just wanted to sort of, I guess, since you wanted to have me on this streams, is based on your tweet. You said, let's get Jason here and Coyote. So I guess we're having that out as far as the whole Vita thing on Twitter. I'm going to just specify right now, I really don't know enough about the statistics and anything that was mentioned earlier to really comment on that. So that's one of the reasons why I was very quiet there. I'm not going to talk about, like, out my ass about these statistics that I don't fucking know or have. Anyway. So, one second. Let me just pull this up real quick.
I mean, if you need someone to do that, we could always add Step.
Get that
No! No!
Oh, that's going to go over like a fart and
Step
fucking...
looks up. Did someone say talk out your ass about statistics?
Oh, my God. So, it seems like you're under the impression that Vita's apparently using me, which I don't exactly know why you're under that impression, and I'm just trying to understand that a bit better, I guess.
All right, so it's pretty much an open fact. You can go to Vita's Twitter account. He aggressively retweets. Anytime he gets into an argument, he quotes tweets and retweets. Now, I do that as well. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't.
Well,
But
yeah,
when
I
I'm
do that.
serious, about an issue, I talk it out with you. Me and him, we're kind of having a conversation, and he has a tendency. And this is not to insult anybody who's friends with Vita. He has a tendency to kind of tag people in to fight his battles for him.
Hold it, Woot. You said that you have a tendency to want to talk to people straight up. I remember months, Woot, where I always said, look, I'm prepared to give you a freaking fairer... Granted, I might not live up to that today because I'm pissed. But I'm prepared to give you a fairer rub than Beryl was, which, again, I'm probably not going to live up to. But, yeah, it took how long? So that doesn't.
As a matter of fact, that's a really interesting point. So you'll remember that I was ready to talk to you, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. Right? That seems kind of weird, doesn't it?
Go ahead.
Somebody contacted me in DMs, and I'm not going to reveal who it was, but they were extremely concerned about me even associating with you. So I decided to take their word for it.
I'm pretty sure.
It was Tinker. It was Tinker.
I'm not gonna say who their name is, so I decided to.
I already know who it is.
I want to let you know, because I remember I want to get this point off my chest right here, because I was listening to your back and forth on the top of the barrel stream, where you're like, and I'm prepared to respect you as most as possible. I'm gonna not do that as far as I'm concerned. Would you ever see Boondocks?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Martin Luther King episode where he tells all those dumb people in the crowd to shut the fuck up? You're one of those people.
Oh shit! Is that true?
Right. That's what I think of you.
Damn.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. But I'd like to see what Coyote's got.
Anyway, I think you got interrupted. I'm just trying to let you finish. I just want to hear where you're coming from, so we can actually have a conversation about all of this.
Okay.
So if you remember where you left off.
Yeah. So here's my whole thing about this situation, right? Coyote, I don't know you. All I know about you is what you choose to present to me. I can never make judgment calls on your shit, right?
Well,
all I know about
I do actually want to stop you there. You have been making quite a few judgment calls about me on Twitter, which is kind of it's one of those things where it creates a weird perception, where you've been doing that factually for the past 24 hours. Like there's you can't say that you haven't been.
I'll go based off what you tell me, like personal shit. Hell no. But the first time I met you, when you came into the conversation, you literally insulted yourself by saying Josh Vita was able to roast you and you're 28. Like that's not a flex, That's not
you're right. You're right. It's not a flex. If anything, that makes me look worse. But the reality is, what you were presenting at that point that I was responding to, and I should have linked it. I did not. But what I was directly responding to was the claim that he only goes after 14 or so year olds. And because I understand he has made me look like a fucking joke, and I'm a grown adult, I know that that's not true. From my perspective, I should chime in about that because I am aware that that is not the truth. That's just a judgment call on my end. I'm not trying to flex or make myself look good or endear myself to anybody. That's me saying, hey, this is not a true statement. I know it's not a true statement because this is what's happened before between me and him, and I'm not 14.
Hey, real quick, don't mean to interrupt too much, but just so you guys can remember, when we do have a super chat, just pause, let Anthony go ahead and read it out. He's obligated to do so. Okay, he prefers to.
Able body means just... Okay, I read that one. 91 Bravo, it's a MOS title. What's that? MOS?
I just want to add in while we're figuring that one out.
Your MOS is your job in the military. In some branches, they call it MOS. That's your job.
Gilded. No, hopefully Rocky will stop trying to piss off Gilded. Again, Gilded has also been...
What? Me and Rocky are cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I don't know this guy. I have a neutral opinion.
And the thing...
Fuck you, Rocky.
Yeah, we were just going after Predator before now, and Gilded made herself available to help assist in that situation. So...
Yeah,
and I just wanted to point out there are multiple times that I've even come on, Anthony's streams or even made videos on my own channel where I've had to have publicly egg on my face because I choose to be honest if I've said something or I've known something that was not true. And either I continued to, spread something like that, whether I knew it or not at the time, it doesn't change the fact that something that was untrue was said. I'm fine having egg on my face. I'm more concerned that the truth gets spread around, even if I'm the one who said a lie, even if it was by accident and I didn't know it was a lie at the time. Like, you understand where I'm coming from? I don't care if I look bad. I want the truth to be more accessible in these kinds of situations.
You know what? I definitely, absolutely agree with that. I was speaking based on my experiences, both being temporarily in Vita's server, Top of the Barrel, and looking over his content. I think it's safe to say, and Leo, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, a lot of the times you guys are dealing with underage kids like RPing and shit, and a lot of the drama is based around younger people. Is that not correct?
Well,
hold on.
I'm talking to Leo. Yeah, I want to talk to you, Leo. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Here's the thing. The way you're framing that's disingenuous. It's not that it's framed around children. It's framed around predators.
Are you suggesting, Woot, that there is erotic roleplay in Top of the Barrel?
No, absolutely. As a matter of fact,
I'm
Top of the Barrel has
defend
been...
that, but I'm like, that's news to
no,
me.
I'm not going to say that. Top of the Barrel, from my time being in there, they're actually extremely strict on stuff like clock and roleplay because of the content that they make. As a matter of fact, don't you have like a sub channel, like what is it, Super Weenie Hut Junior? Isn't that like just to corral like the kids into outside of serious shit?
Generally, yes. Or if somebody really irritates us, we throw them in Super Weenie Hut Junior.
Yeah, I think every time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out, I think every time Plushie's joined that server, he's been thrown.
Immediately.
Yeah. So see, that speaks to me that if not the content that you make, even a lot of your audience as well is younger kids, that you have to make that sort of distinction in the server. And that's what I was basing my opinion off of. I think it's fair to say that a lot of this shit that you guys go after, you guys hunt predators. A lot of this shit involves underage kids.
How many of them do you actually
sort of
think,
where your drama comes from?
Do you actually think they tend to show up in Barrel so regularly? How many kids?
I have no idea.
All right, we don't have very many kids in Barrel. The one underage person in Barrel is Step, and he is my personal kicking bag because he's a dumb kid. That's how that works. Now, I do notice, and I will go back to the fact that you tried to frame this. Well, it revolves around underage people. See, this is what you tried to do earlier on Twitter, and I'm going to wait my turn, so I'm just going to touch on this, and I'm going to go back to Coyote because I want that to finish up. Vita gets involved with kids, or what was it? What was he said specifically about Vita and kids on Twitter? You want to quote yourself on that one, or should I look it up?
As a matter of fact, I'd like to ask if Vita was here, what's his relationship with Mintheart? How old is she?
Mintheart's 17.
Yeah, Mintheart is 17. To the
How
best of
long
my
has he been knowing her, and how many times has she gotten into scandals with pedophiles?
Oh, let's see. She's known her for a while and a few times.
Does that not seem weird to you? Or
Oh, it
off?
absolutely
Have
seems
you never
weird.
questioned that?
I've
Oh,
asked
yeah,
him
we
the
make
question.
fun of her.
We make fun of her
We'll get
for
into
it all the
that.
time.
Hey, stop.
Holy
And my
crap.
whole point is that in addition to targeting kids, what kids has he targeted?
Okay.
That's my whole point, man.
Well,
What
It's just-
kids? And then answer the question: what kids has he targeted?
As a matter of fact, I don't know that.
No, you made the claim, numbnuts. You said, my whole point is that in addition to targeting kids, he surrounds himself with people that have critical thinking skills. You made the claim in addition to targeting kids. So what kids is he targeting?
Can I have a quick one on that one real quick?
Well, hold on. Let him.
I really want to ask this one. I would be
Oh, wait, you know what? I'll answer the question.
All right, no,
after
this is here. I'll
yeah.
put.
All right,
would
fair
you
enough.
be completely satisfied if Vita handed over his entire DMs between him and Mintheart to Leo? Because I would.
I'd like to see him. Yeah.
No one's offering him.
So
to,
would I.
no one's offering him to your full con ass. I don't feel comfortable with that at all.
No.
Fuck no. I'll trust Leo. Who said that anybody was
Wait,
trusting?
he's actually in a full con.
Yeah, he is. But moving on,
Oh, he's
I asked you.
pervert. That
Hold on.
explains a
Hold
lot.
on. I asked you a direct question, Woot. I want an answer. You're not going to run around on it this time. What's your answer here? What
As
kids
a
is
matter
he
of fact,
targeting?
I think you can help me out a little bit with this.
Hey, answer the question instead of making a segue.
How many kids have you
Answer the
doxed?
question instead of making a segue. I want an answer.
How many kids have you
I want
doxed,
an answer.
Leo?
Hey, numbnuts, answer the question.
How many kids have
Answer
you doxed,
the
Leo?
question. Answer
What
the
are the
question.
Can you give me the names of the kids that you've been posting public addresses of, Leo?
Let's see. Nobody, because I don't post public addresses.
Who have you doxed, Leo?
Well,
Hold on. Actually,
hold it. You actually said you doxed public addresses. By definition, that's impossible. If it's
Correct.
public, you're not private. You can't
And you
have
see,
public private.
what I see you're doing here, Woot, is you're trying to move the goalpost, and I'm not going to let you. I want to answer my question.
You'd have
I
fit
think
in
you
that
would
rabbit
have
barrel.
a more specific. You would have a more specific answer to that because
No,
you're,
I want an answer
Guys,
to my
guys,
question.
Can I just interject really quickly?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm going to try to do this very calmly. Woot, I noticed that when we were having a conversation on Twitter, you were pretty upset that I didn't answer your question, but you have been dodging some questions that have been asked of you. I think it would be disingenuous if you didn't at least answer some of these questions, since you seem to have displayed you get perturbed when you're not answered.
Oh no, I'm fine not being answered. As a matter of fact, I just want, since we're all being honest here, because Leo's function, your function as Vita's friend, Leo, is to be his personal guy who goes after and targets these people and doxes them. That's what you
Is
do.
that-
You've publicly
what I do?
admitted it to it. And as a
Is
matter of fact,
is that my function
Yeah.
with Vita? With Vita specifically?
yep, 85%
So
of
it's
your
not my
interactions-
function. It's not my function with Anthony. It's my function with Vita, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
telling
we're
me.
not talking about Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's hear
And
this.
as a matter of
Woot,
fact, most
Woot,
of your
if you-
other
hold
interactions.
it, Woot. If you
Yeah,
got
go ahead.
busted for being a pedophile, I would fight tooth and nail and bribe Leo to get to do that before Vita would. I would pay handsomely. You're not.
You know
but I'm
what?
just
I
saying
don't.
if you
I don't
were,
know. Yeah, I don't know enough
I would
about
get
you.
I would
and your
absolutely get you
situation
come hell or high water.
to be in that.
Okay.
But Leo, most of the time, your relationship with Vita is comprised of you saying you don't agree with what he does.
Correct.
But
Correct.
this guy is even worse. How does that feel? Like, why do you
What
do
guy
that,
is even
man?
worse? What guy is even worse?
Well, for instance, people like me, people like other people who you've talked to on your Twitter, this
People
account that
like
didn't
you.
get banned
Hmm.
because your
You
other
are
account got
bad.
suspended for going after zoo files. I don't know what that situation was.
Skippy. Why don't you go look at my screen name? My account's just fine.
Yeah, the account.
Didn't
is-
it get suspended?
And
Yes,
then
it
got
did,
reinstated
Giggler. It got
because-
suspended and restated.
Yeah, hold it here, Woot. Just because that there were a bunch of freaking stuffy ass liberals like yourself who were zoophiles, maybe like yourself, basically reported him. He winded up fighting through and he managed to get himself reinstated. That is his original account right now.
Absolutely. So anyway, to answer your question, Leo, let's go ahead and answer it straight up. If you want to go, if anybody wants to go join Top of the Barrel and go scroll through all those logs of people they've brought in to basically they surround them and mentally harass them and drag them in the streams. So fuck with them on stream. You can go do that.
Poor babies.
Oh, so you're admitting they exist now?
No, I'm saying I'm using this to mock you because you are so stupid that you think we're going to forget the fact that you can't answer a question. So let me ask you another question. Let's see if you dodge this one. Do you believe putting out somebody's real name is a dox?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then why are you calling Josh Vita?
Because he put it out himself.
Okay, so if you put it out yourself.
What the hell?
Hold on. If you put it out yourself, that means that it's not a dox, right? That's what you're telling me?
If he puts it out on a place like Twitter and you say your name on a public website, like finding it in a phone book and actually seeking out that information just to post it, just to humiliate somebody.
All right, hold it.
Or expose them. That's absolutely.
Driver's license was put on his Instagram.
Because it seems to me you have a problem more with the fact that I find the addresses of pedophiles than you do anything else. Because I don't find the addresses of these kids and post them publicly, nor do I even do that with the pedophiles we find. I don't post their information publicly. Where are you getting this information from? I'm curious.
No,
you're not getting it from anywhere. You're making it up in your own deranged mind, Blake.
No, I'm not making up anything, man.
Yes, you just did. Show me where I posted somebody's address publicly.
It's right there at top of the barrel, fam.
As a matter of fact,
As a matter of fact, if your account hadn't been suspended,
what account is suspended?
Which, yeah, that's very convenient that all of your information and your history on that account.
Oh my God,
disappears
Taco,
after
would you
a certain date.
Holy crap, you're stupid! My Twitter account's fine, dummy. It's the same one I've always had. It got
Hold it. Woot, you talked about if you switched from Discord to Twitter there and you didn't make any kind of connection. Could you paint a fucking bridge from point A to B properly?
Absolutely. But when I first came into this call,
right now.
No, I can't do it.
I'm a very simple dumb person. Keep it simple for me.
No, I can't do it right now because when I came into this call, we were supposed to be talking about me and Coyote, not the dox man over here. Okay.
Who said that?
Hey, cocksucker! Who put the conversation in my lap? Was it you? Oh wait, it was you. Now, why don't you stop giggling, Blake, and answer my question?
I thought we were going to argue politics, and I basically grabbed someone who was...
Yeah, as a matter of fact, can we move back over to Coyote?
No, I want an answer from you first and foremost. I want a name of a child that has specifically been targeted by me.
You'll have to wait till I come out with my video, fam.
No, I want an answer from you right now, or I can easily drive to your house and find it. How's that sound?
Go ahead. Come. All right. Come to my house.
Give me a bit.
Do I give a care? Do I even care, dude? See, this is what he does when he's losing an argument. The only thing he has
is losing an argument. Dummy, you can't even answer a simple question. You lie about what I do. You lie about what's on my timeline. You're too stupid to even realize my Twitter account hasn't changed. It's the same what it's always been.
Leo, listen to me. Why are you so angry that you're now threatening to come to my house?
It's called being cocksucker. It's called being facetious. Open your ears. Get the cock out of them for 5 seconds.
It's also
even though
because
you're openly, apparently, since you're winning the argument, you seem to be getting really upset and saying you're going to come to my house. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Like,
what's wrong with you, you worthless piece of garbage? You lie about people. You fabricate things. You can't even get your facts straight. I want an answer, cocksucker. Who's the kid?
I want to point this out right now. I'd rather pay money to hang out with Sheldon and Rockamoo collectively, who are both alt-right, than ever be anywhere near you, Woot. You are fucking insufferable. You are fucking... Look, that's from a half Mexican. I would pay, like, good money to not be anywhere near you, obnoxious ass.
Wait, no.
Look,
I don't think I'm losing... I don't think I'm losing anything by being...
No, you don't think you're losing anything because you don't have a brain that functions. Henry.
Yeah, no, go ahead and interject.
Yeah, I think what's being said here is Woot is, he's not presenting anything. He's definitely not presenting evidence, but what he's saying is you'll get it eventually, basically.
Eventually.
Well, okay, I guess we'll wait for it.
Right,
I guess
Geraldo.
we'll wait, right?
I mean, yeah, if you
wait for the never. Wait for the never.
Hold on. If that's the case, and this is just my stance on this. You could take it for what you think it's worth. If you are going to present evidence, just don't bring it up in stream yet. Wait for your video to come out and then present the evidence in your video. It's disingenuous to present it as a point, but then not present evidence on this stream. Like, do you understand where I'm coming from with that?
Oh yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Okay, so in my opinion, I think shelve that until the video comes out.
Exactly.
But it's not really fair to use that as a
I'll
point to your
gladly.
All right, so can I ask you a quick...
absolutely.
Here, let's do this one. Let's pretend I was your friend. I know it's going to take a lot of pretend. You said that there's a bunch of things in Top of the Barrel right now. You've just announced that to the entirety of Top of the Barrel. Did you do that so you gave yourself a get-out-of-jail-free card? Well, they would have scrubbed it out. Like, you could have just easily shut up about it, fucking made an alt account, gone in there and found it. Did you have it already?
You know, I think you're thinking way too hard about this.
No,
I can't simultaneously. I can't simultaneously be a dumbass and then a 4D chess master at the same time.
Well, no, because you're already an idiot, and that's already clearly cleared on your mind.
And you're a wonderful example of a Christian calling me a cocksucker. If you
because you suck cocks. There's not a hard dichotomy.
Who's that dude that fucking used to hang out with Toon Shadow? He like does the same goddamn goofus ass laugh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a nervous laugh of a man who knows he has nothing to do.
If anybody would like to move back on to talking to Coyote, I mean, I knew this was going to be.
Yes, run away back to Coyote because you picked a fight you can't handle. Go ahead, go for it.
Okay.
Hello, my fellow gay Coyote.
Bring your grandma on the phone. I want to talk to her.
So take it, Coyote. Unless you
I'm not trying to be rude here, but I actually genuinely don't know where we left off.
No, that's fine.
Like there was like a good 10-minute
segment. You know why I'm angry you did this on Friday is because I can't get. If I would have been able to get drunk, this would have been a good time. But since I'm sober, this is a long trek. Go ahead.
I actually think I can recall correctly. We were talking about sort of how Vita. Fuck, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. There was a lot going on there. Just a lot to digest. I think it started with okay, yeah, I remember. I left off with why I came in with the point that I did and what I was responding to directly, and then I believe you were starting something, but I think it got interrupted. If you remember where you were coming from with that.
My whole point kind of is that Vita will present half-truths to you and lies in order to basically use you and befriend you, because hey, you using your skills of skepticism that you have as a drama YouTuber is not something that Vita wants, right? Vita, despite being a drama YouTuber and painting himself as above everything, has such a history of getting involved in this shit himself. You can make like a 5-hour movie on it. His life is a fucking train wreck, to be quite honest.
All right.
And going back to the point where, yeah, go ahead, go for it.
I just wanted to let you know right now, I understand where you're coming from, and this is something that you can even ask. I know you probably don't have a great opinion of him right now, but this is a conversation I've had with Leo as well as Sheldon. When I'm friends with somebody, my skepticism doesn't go down, it actually goes up because I have a long history of being abandoned by people close to me. I'm very skeptical of people the closer they get. So if Vita actually wanted me to be less skeptical, he's keep me at a distance, not get closer. And
so
that would be very.
Why was it that? Yeah,
and that would be information he would have easy access to as he's friends with Leo and Sheldon.
So why was it that you had to learn from me that he got banned from these conventions for misgendering in the very specific instance? Did he ever drop that information on you?
He never hit it.
Hold on. He never lied to me about that, and I was aware that he was banned from those conventions. Now, there were certain details about that I was not aware of that I have actually tried to have conversations with him about since learning them, but it's not that I was unaware that he was banned. I knew he'd been banned, but that was not what I came into the topic for. That's what I was saying on Twitter.
I've got 3 super chats. Let me at least catch up a little. Riddle Lightning, you know what, Woot? You're the biggest 4D chess play. If he can just say, I only like the aesthetic on the pony porn. Okay. Squid, Woot's biggest problem is you go off assumptions. Also, Squid, you need to go off facts instead of guesses, buddy. Yeah, I've been glad to complain to fucking Coyote about Vita plenty. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you thought, like, there was only acceptance of Vita until Woot Master hit the Oh, wait, you sent me more money here. Squid, Woot, get your pride in check, boy. Maybe others will tolerate you. May God help your souls, you absolute goon. Is this you, Leo?
No. I wouldn't. Number one, I wouldn't call Woot that because of the racial connotation, and I wouldn't have said souls. I would have said soul, and I would have capitalized G.
I only know goon from hockey. Go ahead.
I just wanted to finish off this point by saying also, if I was going to be a lot less skeptical of people close to me, then the whole situation, my entire Buttons video would never have happened, because I never would have pinpointed the lie they said to my face and then started looking into what they were saying and found them in a lot more lies. I'm very skeptical of people who are close to me, and I get more skeptical the closer I let them get. Because I'm very aware of that.
there's a difference between being skeptical and investigating things yourself personally and pimping out somebody for drama because you know they'll come back for more.
Well, see, this is the thing. Are you trying to suggest that fucking I'm pimping out Vita or Vita's pimping me out? Like, what's the suggestion
no.
there?
See, no, you two guys know. He'll probably. I know he's. As a matter of fact, can you enlighten me on what problem did Vita have with you in the first place? Because you said he got you over some comments or something. I have no idea about any of that.
Objection. Objection.
Hold on.
Relevance.
That is actually relevant. I did bring that up myself, and the video has since been deleted, and that is not related to Vita. But because they were on a video that I deleted, I think it's only right that I clarify that. I made a video defending Buttons at the time because me and them were friends. There were some accusations that I did not find to be, they didn't really hold up. There was very terrible evidence that could have easily been faked. So I kind of went through, this is why I don't believe this. This is how easily you could fake this shit. He made a comment on the video. I kind of replied, and it went through about a chain of 100 comments. It was a full day event, and I looked like a complete fucking sped at the end of it. And I'll own that. I looked like an idiot because I got super emotional, and you know what? I was being lied to at the time, and I didn't realize that. So, and like I said, the video's since been deleted, which is a result of Button's actions, not anything anyone else did. But Sheldon got involved as well. He started commenting. I don't know why that happened, but Sheldon did start commenting. I guess he thought it was funny too.
Because he was the original for no good reason.
Yeah, and he can pretty much attest that I looked like a complete fucking sped, and I did wind up apologizing to both of them in the comments section because I looked like a complete joke. I did take it to Twitter as well, where my audience was bigger because I was, just kind of intimidated, and I wanted to have a little bit more control. I'll own that. That's exactly what I did.
I feel that. So you don't see how looking at that situation from an outsider like me, because me personally, I have no fucking clue about any of the Button shit. That seems like a huge story, and we're not going to get in on that because that's irrelevant.
You probably don't want to know. It's a mess.
It's a big enough thing that it despite the fact Buttons has no real relevance on YouTube, it's still one of my most viewed videos on my channel. Not saying much, but I think it's at about like 2K now, so it's weird that someone who's really not of any importance is still pulling some pretty good numbers. It was basically,
Yeah, but to get back into it and explain to, how I came at you over that, don't you see how somebody coming from an outside perspective could see that, oh, here was a video that was that video critical of Vita? In its defensive.
No, it was in no way related to Vita. It was only related to Buttons and the person who was making the accusation, who had, at the time, no relation to Vita as far as I was aware. To my awareness, they still have no relation.
I would have to say, from my very brief knowledge of that, I think they actually have a pretty big relation.
Go ahead.
Going back to
finish the thought.
Do you even know who we're hold on. Do you even know who we're talking about?
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out here. Was Buttons the one with the restraining order?
There is no restraining order.
There's no restraining order on anybody. What are you talking about?
I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify. The first video where the comments chain happened, that was somewhere in the middle of April. It was way before anything where any kind of talk of any kind of legal action was even implied in any context. Yeah. Buttons was still friends with FNGR and me and multiple people who have cut her out. Them out. That's a learned thing on my end. They were very, very fine with feminine pronouns, and I'm still trying to reteach myself to use neutral ones in regards to that.
Okay,
but we're getting a little.
The video that was deleted. Do you know who it was about, Master?
Who was it about?
Well, you said that you think they have a pretty good connection to Vita. Are we talking about Button still? Because the video was about a Warrior Cats animator named Drakenator.
Actually, no, that's not entirely true. That video came out after. This was about somebody entirely separate who was trying to make an accusation that Buttons had apparently groomed them or something. To the best of my understanding, there was no connection to Vita. Yes.
Jasmine.
Oh, I forgot all about that crazy shit. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and I took that video down specifically as a retaliatory thing against Buttons when she tried.
Can I explain that real quick to freaking Drakenator? So there was a girl named Jasmine Blue who originally tried saying that she was 15 after saying that she was 25, and the name got jumbled up so many damn times. I ended up talking to her alleged dad, who was like freaking 24, 25.
I remember this bitch.
Yeah, she didn't wind up being credible at all, and everybody kind of disavowed it and walked away. You're free to head down that on your own.
Right, and Jasmine's evidence was a photo of their laptop, a photo on their phone of their Discord open on the laptop with nothing except a couple out of context DMs, and I'm like, you're fucking joking. That's not proof of anything except that you don't know what a screenshot is. Like, it's like nothing here proves shit because this is so easily manufactured. You could have inspect elemented this shit and then just taken a photo on your phone. It's a geek, it's just there's nothing proven here.
Absolutely. So I think kind of the point is because of my history with Joshua Vita and the incidents that went down with fucking BronyCon and all that shit, I was talking more about him, and then I see you come in, right, off of a claim, and to be completely honest to both Leo and you're absolutely right. I can't just fucking make claims without backing that shit up. That's absolutely 100% on me, right?
But you're still gonna do it.
All I've got is, well, actually, I won't say what I've got. Never mind.
Well, if it's based on what you've said previously, you've got nothing.
That's whatever, fam. Anyway, Coyote, just talking about in the thread, I saw you came in and saw that not only did Vita roast you, and like you said, you had that comment chain, you were now friends. And I'm saying, okay, what's really going on here? You're just hopping in just to defend this guy without even knowing the exact details of why he was banned from BronyCon, BabsCon, and TrotCon.
Because he argued with freaking goddamn BronyCon for 2 days straight on Twitter like an idiot and couldn't shut the fuck up.
like I had stated, I'd heard basically glossed over details that these things had happened, and some of the things around them. I had not heard a full detailed rundown of events. I did not have that. But again, I was not disputing those points. I was disputing one specific point because that was the information I knew to be false, for sure. That's what I came in for. If you look at the original reply that I made, it was specifically to the claim of he only goes after 14-year-olds. And I knew that was false. That's why I came in. I mean, if you read back, that's where the entire thing spawned from on my end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it was me specifically saying only 14-year-olds. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that. But I'm looking through it right now.
This call, I thought.
No, I'm saying he
was trying to wink and nudge that he was having an inappropriate relationship with Mint because he's not smart enough to figure out anything on his own.
Hold on, I believe
I didn't say it was an inappropriate relationship. I don't know what his fucking relationship is with Minhart. I just find it weird. That's all.
I believe I have the tweet screenshotted. Let me see if I have that, and I can put it in chat if I do. If not, I guess it's just lost the sands of time unless we can find it.
I've got it. I got it on hand. I got it on hand.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
Go ahead and
great,
post
then.
it.
Let's see here. Here is your response to it. Your cut and paste. Get back in the chat. Here was your response to it, Coyote.
All right, so we can probably scroll up a little bit because I know it's not a direct reply, which might have been where the confusion spawned from, which is why I kind of put the whole green text style thing there.
And here's the original quote. Right there.
Okay. Reading off the original quote. And he made a dumb post and people called him out on it. Then he proceeded to triple down and replied to every single tweet about him and posted cringy rants about taking legal action. Is this in regards to BC?
Wait, no, this is.
Hold on. Actually,
I think you got the wrong post.
I found the tweet where it's got the statement that I replied to. The full tweet was not what I was replying to. It's only this last sentence. But I will read the full tweet just for context. Just be completely cards on the table. It's a reply to Jace here. And you had said, and said fire resulted in his enviable position of being banned from a con in a fandom. He super pinky promises he doesn't care about. It's pathetic. He received criticism, couldn't handle it, and flipped. And this last sentence is what I was replying to. He's probably unused to picking on anyone over 14, so it's understandable. And then my reply was which came down a little bit later in the thread, but that's the segment that I was directly responding to that I took issue with because I know that not to be true.
Absolutely. But you said that I said that he only picks on people over 14, and that's not the statement. My statement is he's probably unused to. See, my whole thing hasn't been dealing in absolutes with him. It's looking at his wider body of work.
Of course, it hasn't been dealing with absolutes.
Wait. Let me do an impersonation of what that sounds like. I didn't say he molested. I said hold on. Might have. That's some bullshit that you're on right
there. He's probably unused to it because that's outside of his main target range of fucking drama shit. Like, is that an untrue statement?
Yes, it is flatly untrue.
Because he mostly.
Can I make a statement, please?
Yeah, no, go for it.
I want to say that you're right. I read it as an absolute, and I will give you that one. I shouldn't have read it as an absolute. But that said, the way it is worded, it does give an implication that a vast majority is 14-year-olds. So it makes it feel like he specifically got, minors targeted in that context. So you can at least see where I'm coming from with my reply, right?
If you would have said 16 based off of how we wheeled it out, you're an actual 16-year-old edgelord, Looney. I know that because I stole it off of him. Maybe you might have
exactly the eternal 16-year-old.
Yeah. When I said the 14, when I said
let me give you a list: the male alicorn, the Looney Turtle, myself, Digibro, yourself. I suppose there are some 16s in there. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but
it's not incorrect to say that. Yeah,
you're right.
See, and I can imagine that I should have probably said not 14. I should have said under 18. But come on, this is an open secret. Most of the shit he deals with is underage people.
And I understand. Hold on, I'm just trying to be completely fair here. I did treat it as an absolute. However, the way it was worded, it leads people to believe something even if it was not the intention. That really needed cleaner wording, in my opinion, if I'm being very charitable with, critiquing that tweet specifically and how, it's worded.
Again, you're killing me by making me defend this person. Let's see, Spoken Mind, Massacre Molly.
Believe me, this was I was planning for this to go a very different direction with how I was going to start talking on this stream, but once everyone started yelling, I was like, okay, we need a voice of reason somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, and you really started talking.
Yeah.
Really?
So anyway. I'm open and I'm accepting the criticism both Leo and you are putting on me because you're right.
I'm not done yet.
If I don't have my fucking facts straight, that's it. And Coyote, you're right. I could have phrased that way better. See, I don't have anything against you, Coyote. My main thing is against Vita. That's all. That's what this whole thing is about.
The closest, literally, I thought of one person. The closest I could have to Vita bullying an underage child was when he used to be in Limbo and he said, "Hey, give me admin so I could kick out Tommy Taco," and I gladly gave it to him because I thought it was funny as shit, and I don't apologize.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Now, if you'd like, because I was just gonna say, if you'd like, because it seems like we got a decent enough audience here. If you want to talk about what's been going on today, I'm more than happy to have that conversation as well.
Absolutely. What are you referring to?
For the most part, it's just the fact that starting with the tweet that I made where I screenshotted your quote tweet of your own joke and all the drama that's erupted from that, because it seems like that's gotten a lot more attention than I anticipated it would have. I thought it was mostly going to be maybe 20 likes at best, like most of my tweets do, and nobody would have given a shit. It seems to have blown up a lot more than I anticipated. So if you'd like to discuss that, I'm more than happy to do that as well, since it seems to be a pretty big thing now, at least in the context of the people talking.
Oh, is that the transgender Skittles remark?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tranny Skittles, what's going on?
Because I feel like it'd be really, again, disingenuous on my part not to at least address all the shit going on today.
Throw the link in here so I can put it on screen while you guys talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that sort of, I'll admit, that sort of hit me out of nowhere. I assumed after the other day we were going to go ahead and have this call and just talk about it. But I feel like you wanted to, as you said, you wanted to kind of needle me and get inside my head. So you kind of screenshotted a joke I did and said, "Yo, this is transphobic. How could he get off Vita for being transphobic when he's making jokes like this?" And I just find that a really disingenuous comparison because Vita wasn't joking. Vita wasn't joking about his misgendering of Sheba Roll.
Yeah,
that wasn't him just doing it. Yeah, he wasn't just doing it for the lulz. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've actually talked to Vita about that, and based on what he's told me, you're right. That was my impression of that was wrong. he wasn't joking, but at the same time, I think painting him as transphobic for one statement is disingenuous itself, because I agree that the statement he made was a transphobic remark, but I don't think one singular instance of saying a transphobic remark is enough to paint somebody as a transphobe. To me, that's a disingenuous way to look at that.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. It wasn't just one remark. You see, if Vita had just left it at "nah, you'll get over it," none of this would have happened. But as I'm sure Vita's friends know, his biggest strength is his ability to talk, but it's also his biggest weakness, because I've doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
I've commented on that several times to everybody in this call. Right?
Well, I think you and Vita clearly have that in common then.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and post some. I'm gonna go ahead and post some screenshots of the entire incident, and it kind of goes past that with people criticizing him.
It's
and then
true. Had he shut up after the first "now you'll get over it," he probably would not have gotten banned. Probably.
He just keeps
also
going.
I'm clarifying again. I don't agree with him using remarks like that, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell him how to live his life, and I'm not going to say you are definitively transphobic for one singular instance. To the best of my awareness.
If you think that you're the first person to walk up to Leo and like, "Leo, I want you to hit that button you got that puts a little stun shock into Vita," he's still looking for it. You know, the one where he gets him to sit up and behave himself. I mean, I'm really like chiding him to find it. I'll be the first to let you know when he does.
I think you got to figure it out on your own when there's nothing but abject silence for about a week.
Okay, this is coming from someone who legitimately hates trans people. Yeah, no, he's being pretty moderate here.
So, and
I don't know whether to laugh or cry at this statement you just made. Like, what part do I focus on first?
Both. Do the same at the same time.
I'd like to point out that this is the same Rocky when you saw that chick who was fucking hitting on or making fun of what's her damn name? What's that really creepy trans woman that wound up trying to lure in all the kids?
Yeah, which one?
Jessica Yaniv.
Derailed.
Yaniv, yeah.
No, yeah. You were like, I really hate trans people, and yet you thought Blair White was hot.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Naxal, not all X.
So if
I'll concede, yes.
If this was one, but yeah, okay. To get back to the point, if this was one incident, yeah, that'd be fucking nothing, right? But, and again, this one is actually substantiated by a bit more than just me saying, "Oh, yeah, it happened." Joshua Vita has stated in Top of the Barrel that he used to be way more transphobic than he is, but he still has an issue with they, them pronouns. So this isn't just some one-off that he just decided to do, right? This speaks to his deeply held ideology, and he'll straight up tell it to you. Okay, so it's a bit disingenuous to say that I can call him transphobic just from one thing, because this is a long-running fucking thing. I mean, look at the cap here. You know, some of them are trans, so they have experience with playing make believe. You're like, come on.
What's his ideology?
I would just like to point out that based on what you've said, you know, he used to be way more transphobic. It's lessened is kind of what I'm getting, but ultimately where you're coming from is that it still exists. The thing that I'd like to point out as well, if you look in some of these screen caps, he has used the word transsexuals, which is a known slur. You know, actually, though, when I was calling him earlier, and, you know, Leo and Sheldon can back me up on this, because I was asking him about the context of this. When he said that word by accident, he immediately started correcting himself, saying transgender. He's still trying to make progress. He's trying to move past his own mentality that he held here. And I believe that this may be what he held in the 17th of June. But to me, I'm seeing someone who's trying to make progress. I'm not seeing somebody who is just deciding, no, I'm rooting myself to this belief. And in my opinion, I think that's worth at least, you know, giving credit to. There's effort going into this on his end, and I think it's worth sticking around to see where that's going to go, whether that goes backward or forward.
It's going to go backwards.
I hate to derail here, but somebody remind me later on. I already had two people come up to me and be like, "Hey,
I'll remind you.
We'll need to talk about Flutter Rocket." And I was like,
I'll remind you.
I mean, do you think that that's an unfair position for me to take?
Yes. You know what? I'll be goddamn. I didn't know the guy was actually. I know he was making attempts, but remember, all I have to go off of is what he chooses to present to the world. Okay, and he presents quite a bit. This guy tweets and he responds to every single tweet, right? So if he's having these issues, right? He's not helping himself
No, we
by
don't do that.
basically spreading his ass cheeks all over Twitter for everybody to see, which is why he's banned from 3 conventions.
Well, what ideology does he have? No, shut the fuck up. What ideology does he have? You said he was ideologically committed. What's his ideology?
I think he believes without a shadow of the doubt that hormones, gendering people correctly, and gender reassignment surgery does not help trans people.
It doesn't, but that's not an ideology.
Can I actually say something real quick here?
Go ahead.
So last year, me and Vita got into a thing back and forth. He misgendered me, and then I ended up going into a freaking live stream with him before BronyCon, and me and him sat down and talked, and he freaking changed his opinion of me, and then he stopped misgendering. He literally said during that live stream that a lot of times when he misgenders trans people, it's because he doesn't like them and he's trying to piss them off.
It doesn't matter why he's doing it. If he's doing it on purpose, that's transphobic.
Let me ask you one on this one. Do you know who Randy Stair is?
Randy Stair, was that the shooter?
Yes.
The Equestria Girls loving Ghost Ember.
Yep, that's the one.
Yes, yeah, I remember them. Yeah, what about him?
Well, if you believe what you did, why'd you call him Randy just now?
Ooh.
Yeah, because you know he's a piece of shit.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I did.
I don't look into Randy. But here's the
you
thing.
did it again.
He's crazy.
Dead naming again.
Okay, so why don't you tell me their
respect
preferred...
because respect.
Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me their preferred name? Then
I think it's like Blaze or some crazy fucking.
Well, okay.
Well, guess what? They're Blaze.
All right.
Damn, that was easy. Fuck.
Okay,
I still
cool.
think they're a piece of shit. But wow.
I got a question I written down for you. Is there anything that a trans person could say, even if you know is inherently wrong, because you're such a boot-licking fucking liberal, you just won't dare to speak the fuck up?
I actually have lots of disagreements with trans people.
Golem of soy.
Well, speaking of trans people, I want to make a point here. Patchwork, my good friend Patch, decided to put a poll on their Twitter about your joke to see if it was transphobic. Now, when I last checked, it had 138 votes.
Well,
80 something percent voted yes. Let me go.
Why does it matter what a bunch of retards on Twitter?
Because if his argument comes down to
because
trans people were okay with it, somebody with a larger following of trans people debunked that.
All right, so here let's put it to this way, Rocky. Because freaking Woot here is the Uncle Ruckus of cis people.
Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the poll.
You ever been around the transgendered person? They just smell nicer.
On the polls, you can't see who's voting, so you don't know if those are trans people who have actually voted in the affirmative.
I'm talking about in general. Patch has a larger. Yeah, I'm working on it. I have to do a screen cap because Patch is on lockdown. In general, Patch has more trans people following them than you do.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. If her shit's private right now, then I believe she'd probably more likely to have people blocked who are, right? if I may be
just a little bit. Just a teeny weeny bit.
To be fair, she did piss the shit out of, what's her name? ContraPoints' fans, because I don't even remember that whole discussion.
Oh, wow. Wait, did she really phrase it like that? Oh my god, that's so fucking disingenuous. Why did
you mean like when you claim other things about other people and being disingenuous? It's almost like it's a habit you have.
Why didn't she post the actual?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Back up. Why didn't what? Hold on. Why didn't what? What did you just call Patch?
Why didn't Patch post the actual?
Oh, now you want to change it. You want to change it now. I see.
All right,
I got you.
Hold it. There's two reasons for that. Well, actually, one specifically, because you can't post a poll and a picture on Twitter at the same time.
Did Patch post it underneath the poll, or because that just seems kind of disingenuous to frame it as is a cisgender man saying he wants to pretend to be transgender
welcome to cancel culture
and to avoid being drafted. Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, this is, man, cancel culture is so dumb.
Which is what you participated in it daily. I don't know what you're getting at.
Hold on, I just want to clarify, Woot. I was never intending to cancel you either. I want to make that very clear. That was never my intention with what's going on today. I was just trying to get in your head a little bit before the stream because I was intending for that to be like a lot of banter. I wasn't expecting to have to take on the demeanor that I have currently.
Right, but
So
you
I was
you
legitimately
understand,
just trying to wrestle your jimmies.
you understand that transphobia accusations are serious shit. Like you can't just weaponize transphobia to try to take out somebody you don't
They
like.
do, though.
You have a disagreement.
Hold on. I was not attempting to weaponize transphobia in that regard. What I was trying to do was show some hypocrisy with that joke. That's all I was doing.
yeah.
I was not trying to show you as transphobic. I was showing, hey, this is kind of hypocritical that you would make this joke while accusing someone of being transphobic. I was accusing you of hypocrisy, not transphobia. It evolved into transphobia. Yeah. That is not my intention.
Absolutely. But you understand that, yeah, things can get out of hand, as I'm sure anybody can attest to. And this is where we're at now. When I made that joke, I made it underneath a trans person's post who was saying that they're glad that they're trans because they didn't have to, get drafted into World War III. It was all memes about the Iran shit, right? So I posted, hey, where's that burger that is full of estrogen? You know that burger that kind of made the rounds on Twitter?
Burger, yeah.
Yeah, because it has like 44 milligrams of
Yes, yeah, I know all about that.
So people are like, I need it about.
Rocky is currently planning on burning down every Burger King within 100 miles.
I actually do want to...
Don't tell people about that.
I actually do.
Yeah. Well, what my whole point was I was going to attempt transition because I knew specifically that the transgender ban wasn't on like blanket on anybody who's trans, right? It was only for people who are going through transition related issues that would affect their deployment. So that's the whole joke
itself.
Now, hold on. I want to point out, I only saw the quote tweet on your profile. I should have clicked on that response to look into it more. I didn't, and for that I apologize, and I also apologize for any contribution to this perception people have of you of being transphobic. That I also apologize for. I just saw the quote tweet. I saw the tweet in the quote tweet, and I thought, looks a bit hypocritical. Let's poke some fun at it. That's on me. I should have looked into that more. I should have clicked on the tweet to see what there was, and I apologize for that. Okay?
One of the main no, that's fair. One of the main things I've learned about Twitter, and yeah, this is gonna sound fucking crazy for me, right? Is that you do have to watch, even if you're joking, the sort of shit that you say to people. When I accuse Vita of being transphobic, I didn't even fucking know the guy. This is not from some prior grudge. All I knew was his actions at that point in time. I had nothing against Vita, and I didn't want to get him banned. I don't care if he goes to a convention. It's a fucking convention. As you will notice, there's probably a little bit more going on with some of the security at conventions that should be looked at than Joshua Vita. The Vita transphobe shit happened before the pedophile shit with Mintart. I asked Vita about it. I was like, why are these accusations just coming out right now? He said Mint let him know literally like days before the con, which caused a huge shitstorm all over Twitter. And it continued after the con as well.
Hold it.
That's inaccurate. That's inaccurate. He didn't know about it till after the con.
That's even worse.
Well, hold it. Whoa. How was that Vita's?
Yeah.
Well, here's how I understand this, and feel free to correct me. He went to the con, dressed up, face mask, poses with the security guards because lol, and freaking. I assume he drops the images back in top of the barrel, or
it was, to my understanding, it was Baiji who took the picture with him.
You know who I mean. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, and then frickin' I'm assuming Mint Heart at some point in time goes, "Hey, about this guy."
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I recognize that guy. Wait, let me get my DMs. I think I remember, and that's when it all hit the fan.
If you legit had information that Vita knew about fucking any of this shit ahead of time and said, you know what, I'll use this later. I want to know.
I would too. I would love to know.
I would be very pissed off.
I would be too.
You're fucking correct, Leo. You're absolutely correct. It happened after the convention. Yep, that's absolutely correct. So, but I just wanted to speak on real quickly. I think people were trying to assume that I was more concerned about the transphobia stuff than the pedophiles. Of course, I fucking wasn't. That kind of takes priority, doesn't it?
We'll get to that in a minute here. I'm gonna let you and Coyote finish up what you're doing.
So Coyote, I just want to finish and just say to you, I recognize you didn't mean it to come that way, but it did kind of seem like you were trying to equate the two situations when you didn't know the full details of what Vita had did yet until I told you after the fact.
Well, in a sense, there was equating the two things, but only in the sense that this is hypocritical, not in the sense that you are transphobic. Those are two different ways of equating those things, in my opinion.
Right.
I never meant to imply that you are transphobic. I meant to imply this is a bit of hypocrisy from where I'm sitting.
Do you know where I got the term titty skittles from? I didn't pull that out of my ass. Several trans people I know use that term.
Okay. Oh no! I'm not referring to that terminology at all.
Right, but that was in the joke.
All right. So let me.
I understand.
Let me pop in there real quick, Woot. As a black man, do you want every white person telling every re-joke that you say about your race?
You know what? As a matter of fact, I
was about to say, as a Mexican who's comfortable in who he is, I don't mind, but you people are very,
Oh, I came back and you're talking about race. That should be good.
I think as any sort of skin color, some people believe you can't talk about issues unless
race isn't about skin color.
Unless you're a black person. You can't talk about black shit unless you're black.
That's retarded.
You can't talk about white shit unless you're white. I don't believe that. I believe you should be able to talk about any issues. Just make sure you're properly informed. Go ahead and joke about it. You can talk about it,
but you'll never really have that, proper insight that members of that group have.
Exactly. So you could frame it as me being ignorant on that subject because I'm not trans and I made that joke. But the only reason I did make that joke was, again, because the experiences of other trans people I know and that have told me shit. Because I listen to trans people. I don't try to speak for them.
Trans people aren't a fucking monolith, though, either. We all aren't the fucking same, so let's just get that fucking straight up out there.
Let me give you a thing here that's, I think, fucking hits on par here. There was a debate about, sci-fi a long time ago, where someone made the remark, I want you to admit that most of sci-fi is terrible, 80%. And the guy's big comeback line is, well, 80% of everything is shit.
That's a gay comeback.
Oh, I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah. That's so shitty.
But it's true, though.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I think that's funny. I don't know if it's true, but it's funny comeback.
All right, well, let's go through. About 80% of fucking, let's say, movies, video games, music.
Hold on,
shit.
there's a term for it.
99% of movies are shit.
There's a term for it. It's called Sturgeon's Law.
Yeah, that's it. Sadly,
okay.
I did hear about it through
Can you
Bob.
explain that real quick? Because I don't think...
Not really. We'll take time for that some other time. It's kind of not really related directly to the topic, so let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Coyote, do you have anything else for...
I mean, is there anything else that in particular you want to discuss about the events of today, or do you feel like you're good on that one?
No, I've got no problem with you, Coyote. I'm sorry if I overreacted to anything that you said, and really, yeah, I've got no beef with you whatsoever, and I'd like to squash this shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know what? I'll return the favor. I apologize for not looking into that joke more than I did, and I apologize for giving people the wrong impression. Even if that's not the impression I meant to give them, it is still the one that I did give them. And honest to God, I didn't intend for that.
Okay. What did you want to move on to next? Leo, I think you had something you wanted to.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do a rundown here, and then I'll allow you to respond. So let's start from the top. Firstly, you talk about Vita having nothing to do with his life, doing nothing. Well, I'm not going to say that's not wrong, because he does generally do nothing, but you're in the same boat for the most part, and here's why. You're currently in your 20s. You started being in the community 8 years ago. For 8 years, you have gained people that have followed you on Twitter. You have gained clout within the convention community. On Pony FM, you have 27 followers. On SoundCloud, you have 221. Your YouTube, of course, has 2K subscribers. And yet you are living with your grandmother, and you work part-time as a waiter at a Chinese restaurant. So in this case, you are also an absolute failure to launch. The only thing you do that seems to get your dopamine going at this point is doing goofy hot takes on Twitter, where you can continue to be a limp-wristed slacktivist throughout the entire thing. Because here's the thing. A few years ago, you were just as active on sites like MLP as everybody else was. What I'm noticing is you get mad they make fun of you. So you decide to take that out onto something that happened months ago. You take it out on Sheldon and you bring back into Vita. Truth is, you got hurt, and now you're trying to take that out on other people. You want to talk about doxing, you make accusations of me, saying that I dox children when you have no evidence for it. And speaking of evidence, let me go ahead and bring this up. You talk about how my Twitter got magically taken down and all that's deleted. I want you to look at the highlighted number here, and I want you to read that before I continue on. What's the date?
The date is joined May 2012.
Correct. This is the Twitter account I have always had, and it is still active. And I noticed you ignored every single response I gave you over the past 2 days. And here's why you did that, for two reasons. Number one, you talk about, the pedophiles are terrible in this community. And you're right. So why haven't you talked about, retweeted, messaged, or warned anybody else save one predator that you found, gay horse effer? You haven't talked about Grizzly the Medic. You haven't talked about any of the other close to 30 pedophiles we found. You ignore all of that. You ignore everything other than something you can build clout off of. You are disingenuous and you're chasing a fad. And I think the only reason you are even trying to pretend like you care about these things is because the people you want to keep hanging around do, and you don't want to step out of line. I find you to be disingenuous. You're a liar. And the only thing you're going to have to look forward to is sooner or later, you're going to realize you're in your mid-30s, grandma's about to die, and you've done nothing with your life.
Mic drop.
Well, they're pedophiles, but at least they're not transphobes.
Can I respond?
Go
No,
for it.
I got one
Can I
here.
kill
All right,
somebody for that statement?
let's go ahead and run down your shit from the top, Leo. All of my disagreements with Josh Vita and with you have been based upon things that you said and arguments about what you believe in. Not once have I tried to, because you see what you just did here is you tried to insult me based upon my living situation, my job, all that other stuff, because you have really nothing else that you could actually criticize.
Nimrod, I just pointed out
substance.
about the fact that you chase clout over actually doing something valid. And you're talking about you disagree with what the values and stances I have. No, keep giggling, moron. I want to know what values and stances I have you disagree with.
Leo,
Yeah,
do
we
you
have
want
plenty
to
to criticize,
pull
my
up
friend.
Leo, do you want to pull up more personal information about my life to back up your argument?
Sure, you don't drive. That's all I've got.
Well, because
Oh, you're a loser. Just
Okay,
like
you know
Vito.
what? This is a really
No,
substantial
I want to hear. I want to
argument.
hear. I want to hear. I want to hear
You've,
what children.
you've
No.
busted
I want to hear what child I have doxed.
Oh, did that really get under your skin?
No,
Is
I
that
want
why
to hear.
you're
I
so
want to hear
angry?
you. No, I want to angry son. You want to hear me angry? Go watch the stream with Ichabod. You'll see me angry.
So wait.
I want you to back up for once in your worthless life. I want you to back up a claim you've made.
I've already said that was wrong of me to accuse you without any evidence. Now, can I continue responding to your...
You also accused me of having a deleted Twitter account. You've accused me of a lot of things here.
Leo, you admitted to getting your account being suspended. So let's not go
For
on
what?
that point.
For what? What did I get
Now,
suspended
Leo,
for? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. What did I get
Leo.
suspended for? Come on, big boy. What did I get suspended for?
Leo,
funny how you're so
Leo,
civil now that the firing squad's here, eh?
what are you talking about? This is how I've been the entire time.
I doubt it.
When have I ever raised my voice, or when have I
know-
ever tried to insult personally anybody in the stream? I don't know any of you people.
But you're not
this is
answering
what
any
you- this
fucking
is what
question.
you-
Hey, Mushmouth, you have insulted people in this stream by making accusations you can't back up. Here's the cute little thing I want you to be very close attention to. It is literally impossible for me to dox children. You know why it's impossible for me to dox children? Use your brain. See if you can put it together.
Leo, I let you ramble on about my living situation for 30 seconds. Do you mind for me to respond? Okay, because this little fucking cute little angry boomer
Oh,
shit
is that
you got going
upsetting
on
you? Poor
is
baby.
really fucking dumb, dude. Like,
Failure to learn is trying to sit there and talk.
does this
Can I
work
say
on
something
Yeah,
real
no, go
fucking
for it.
quick?
Go for it.
Okay, Woot, I didn't know you from fucking Tom, Dick, or Harry when we came into this fucking call. I didn't know who you were. I was asked to come here to give some personal opinions. But you're starting to annoy the fuck out of me because you don't answer any fucking questions. I'm getting a bad opinion of you because you won't fucking just answer a goddamn question. You turn it around. You change the subject. Answer a fucking question!
Will you
Oh, no,
allow me
let him-
to
give him time,
will you
give him
allow me to
time.
respond
Based.
Go
to
for
Leo
it.
because
Floor's yours. Floor's yours.
you guys are extending this out way farther.
Floor
than
is
it has to
yours,
if you just
son.
let me
Start
talk.
talking.
Because
All
it's
right,
fun.
so
Keep going.
on the Grizzly the Medic situation, I actually did talk about that, and I did retweet it after it happened. You don't know that because of course, you didn't look at my Twitter to confirm it.
Actually,
So
I have.
I actually did talk about that situation. As a matter of fact, I retweeted about it, and I did talk about him. I told him, look, this doesn't look good on your part that you're trying to hide this sort of thing, okay? But you want to know why I haven't been as ardent about it as our resident gang of pedophile hunters in the fandom? That's because I don't pimp out pedophilia accusations for content on my YouTube channels. The only reason I find out about this shit is if it drops into my feed. I don't go hunting for pedophiles by looking through people's RP chat logs, okay? That's not what I do. You're drama YouTuber
right now, motherfucker. Is there a reason for
that? Vita.
Does it matter as long as the results get here? I mean,
Also,
I don't
just
give
so
a
you know,
shit
I
how
did
it
look through your
comes
Twitter.
about.
I typed in Grizzly with your name, nothing.
That's because it's a retweet. It's not going to be an actual tweet. You have to look at the retweets, okay?
I
And as a matter of fact, if you give me time, I'll go ahead and find where I did retweet it if it's still there. But after BronyCon, I was fucking wasted, okay? It's BronyCon. I went there and enjoyed my time. I played in bands and I had fun with people, okay? All of this shit started blowing up afterwards after the convention was already over. And as a matter of fact, I'll say this right now. That shit with Grizzly the Medic, that's fucking disgusting that they had him on their staff and all of that shit went down. But forgive me for thinking that Vita breaking the story doesn't seem like he's just trying to get back at a convention that banned him because he's petty. I don't weaponize pedophilia accusations like that. He was just trying to get back at the con. It's real fucking convenient that right after the convention.
Hold it, Woot.
Well, how do you prove that?
Woot, I've
How are
gone
you
to
gonna
fucking
prove it?
BronyCon for fucking 4 years. 3 of them beautiful, 1 of them boring.
Yeah.
I did the same
I think
damn
I was at
thing.
one of the beautiful
I
ones.
came at him harder than he did. Fuck off.
Okay, but yeah, exactly. All I'm saying is I did actually talk about the situation and I did retweet it. So that's a lie. Okay,
No,
Leo?
you said you retweeted it. You didn't talk about it. Talking about it and retweeting it are not the same thing.
I don't spend my life talking about pedophile.
No, you spend your life just crying about whether or not somebody's a transphobe and picking on other people to have a lower sub count
Donald
than
Trump did something that upset me. God,
That's because it happened. It came
you're
into
as
my
sad as
feed.
Step bitching about.
Oh, and
Jews every day.
also your complaint about, well, I was wasted after BronyCon. This happened a week after BronyCon. Were you still wasted?
Absolutely. Have you heard of?
Well, then maybe you ought to get your life together, you
Holy
stupid
shit,
drunk.
You should put down your MD 2020, motherfucker.
The original argument
My God.
wasn't that my life has been together. You're trying to shift
Put
it
down the
towards
malt liquor.
making me look like some kind of fucking wasted bum. And as a matter of fact,
Or I mean, you
you're
are a
absolutely
bum.
right. Yeah. When have I ever denied being a schlubby piece of shit? Never. All of my shit is open. I'll tell you about what I'm into. I'll tell you about my fucking fetishes. I link my art account on my Twitter where I post about all that. So
I know you're
you
a
can
fucking
only
pervert,
you can
Dom.
only use shit about me that I've already told people myself. Okay, everybody knows who the fuck I am, and I don't
think
try
they
to
do.
hide that.
I don't think they really
Alright.
do, Blake. I don't
See,
think
I
grandma
don't
knows what to do.
use I don't use pedophile accusations in place of a personality on Twitter because
Alright.
I'm not signed up to the Pedophile Hunter newsletter. All
Well,
right.
maybe you ought to be, because that way you can actually tell the 1,700 people under you, some of which are children, hey, there are monsters in your community. No, you're more worried about what XYZ thing you can do for Twitter clout. You worthless, disingenuous idiot.
Mocker a sex pill. I think we should.
Oh
all sit there
no,
and
not the
together.
Dockies. They're coming for your sex toys. You worthless
What the
idiot.
fuck did I come back to?
Leo, I was defending the Dakimakuras at BronyCon.
I'm
You
aware,
know what
you
the fuck you're
idiot.
talking about.
Well, no.
Yes.
I've got the links. Here's the whole thing
Yeah,
about that. Woot.
absolutely. So
Wait,
I'm
were you
friendly with
arguing
Brony.
that they weren't?
Yes,
Sell
I
the
said, oh
fucking
no,
things.
they're attacking the Dockies. You moron, learn to pay attention. Again, take the cocks out of your
Hold on.
ear. Maybe get some cotton swabs and pay attention.
Leo, what do you think's more important? Body pillows on the floor at a convention or pedophiles in the staff? What do you think's more
Pedophiles.
important? What do you think that? Let me tell you about BronyCon. Okay, they had an aggressive policy against clop. As a matter of fact, they would send out people to try to find clop rooms where that shit was being sold. They put so much time into that.
In 2018, they absolutely had Dakimakuras with the CMC on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
Jenny
disgusting.
Nicholson,
Should be
who
banned.
was
So
yeah.
what does
Let
this have
Jenny-
to do with pedophiles?
No, let him finish. This is gonna
Okay,
be
so
fun.
let's go back around to pedophilia. Okay, I believe that if you were to have a moderated after dark floor like TrotCon does, where they ask for ID before you get in to sell that shit, you could spend more time actually rooting around for actual fucking problems. BronyCon's priorities were in the entirely wrong direction. They weren't looking at their own staff. They were trying to find people who had pictures of Twilight Sparkle's pussy in their backpack selling it for $20. What the hell does that have to do with fucking finding a pedophile in your staff? It was entirely misdirected. As a matter of fact, Leo, I think we're almost agreeing on the same fucking thing. They were looking in the wrong. Exactly. They were looking in the wrong direction. So why did you bring up my?
I brought up the fact that you're sitting here where I'm talking about the fact that you had no problem tweeting out and having an actual discussion about dockies, but pedophiles, you just, I guess, think a simple retweet is just all that is necessary, despite the fact that you do have a following.
In this community, pedophilia is a huge fucking problem. And I'll admit that, okay? But what more is there to say once this shit came out? They laid it all out in the tweet, all the chat logs with Minhart. They were like, yo, Grizzly the Medic's a fucking pedophile. I boosted it and I retweeted it to my followers. You're trying to paint it as just because I don't actively go around looking for pedophiles that I'm somehow contributing.
No, that's not how I am. That's not how I'm painting it. You're just too stupid to follow.
Is that the case?
So let me go ahead and elucidate to you now.
Let me take
you to clear.
You two have been going back and forth. Let me have this one here. I'll put it this way. Okay, you smash retweet, which we do appreciate, for basically when there were pedophiles in the thing. Someone says anything remotely about like Folocon or something like that, and you turn into Martin Luther and post a 95 thesis defending, well, and here's the whole thing about this, Woot. I actually don't care that you're into really weird shit. You seem to get really annoyed when people just say it's weird. You seem to get real fucking defensive.
I don't care about people saying it's weird. The reason I was in that thread is because Jenny Nicholson was attacking other artists who did body pillows. She posted a video saying, ew, look at all this shit on the floor, attacking female artists, attacking every artist who was in there, as if it's somehow their problem that BronyCon's idiotic policies forced them to sell their shit out in the open like that instead of having a place for it away from kids. It's stupid. It's fucking misguided.
Fuck them.
Okay, all right. Excuse me for thinking that.
It always saddens me to remember that these woke liberals can be reactionary as conservative Christians when it comes to art. Peep the replies. It's like 2012 all over again. Never mind that many female artists. And I was like, hey, look, Woot, I don't mind going after a chick if she's fucking being a pedophile. Not at all. I'm not saying it's the same thing here, but I've seen some of your arguments. Oh, if it were a chick. Dude, I'm the one who fucking went after Lou the Kitty.
All right. So do you think selling a documakra of Twilight Sparkle in, I don't know, fucking swimwear on a pillow in BronyCon, do you think that's pedophilia? Or is pedophilia Grizzly the fucking Medic?
Hold it.
I think it shouldn't be at a con, but...
I agree! It shouldn't have been on the fucking floor, but they were attacking it for the wrong reasons.
Okay, but
BronyCon...
I put this in the chat where it says, hey, in your opinion, is this artwork questionable or suggestive?
Yes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes. So they were trying to make the point that, and they blocked me after this because it's fucking stupid. They were trying to make the point that... Not
everybody wanted to see that, and I guarantee you after I retweeted that post, I probably got blocked by a couple people too. And if, you know what, if that happened, you are free to do that, and I understand. I took a chance. I put something out there that I understood would offend people, but hey, here we are.
But let's go back to one thing.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead, Leo, go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
In the previous conversation I had with you, and you said earlier today, let's see, that I am the doxer. I'm the person Vita relies on. But in the previous stream I had with you, the moment it was revealed to you that I doxed pedophiles, your first response was to say what I was doing was scummy. So here you are talking about how pedophiles are bad, which is good. That's a good line to stand on. So tell me how it's scummy that I dox them.
I don't think it's scummy that you dox pedophiles.
That was your exact response when you were told that I dox pedophiles. Well, doxing is scummy. That's scummy, man.
Yeah, doxing is scummy. Like, it depends on the context of who the fuck you do it to. All right? You.
Then I want you to tell me right now, in front of everybody, that you have no problem with pedophiles being doxed.
As a matter of fact, I have no problem with pedophiles being doxed.
Woo!
All right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Took you long enough.
Yeah, I don't. I'd have no problems with pedophiles being doxed, okay?
Welcome aboard, matey.
But
now, on top of that,
go ahead.
Let's walk back a little bit further.
Go ahead.
In the initial stream I had with you and Vita, generally when it came to Vita's nonsense for BronyCon's back and forth with the trans thing, because again, I'm one of the few people who, even on one of his other streams, had no problem confronting him to his face that I found that to be very stupid. He shouldn't have done that. Now, when I was talking to you in the stream you were on, I said, hey, we both live in Houston. Maybe we should get together and hang out sometime. And the minute you found out I actually do live in Houston, you walked that back. And your reason for that was because I dox people and you find that scummy.
Well, judging on my conversations with you, no,
take a day
I
off.
wouldn't want to. And it isn't.
Doxing,
It isn't
yet
just
he supports people who dox nationalists. Otherwise,
It isn't just the doxing that I think it's a fucking problem, right?
I mean,
your
I could ask this
entire
person in here.
attitude
Hey, Will,
and
can
the
you
way
pause?
that you talk to people.
Fuck your feelings.
I don't think that I would I don't think that I would have a good time hanging out with you. Why the fuck would I hang out with you after you've acted like this?
Because
Do you
a
think
lot
I'm
of
just
people,
a fucking
a lot of
sucker
people,
for punishment?
well, I mean, you kind of are, but more importantly, do you really think within the depths of your ignorance that I haven't hung out just fine with a lot of people of different personalities and gamuts? Do you really think that?
Well,
I mean,
Stockholm syndrome is a real big problem.
Yes, let's talk about
Well,
Stockholm.
Wait a minute. I actually want to
ask.
ask a question, and I think this is a fair question given what's just been said. Had Leo actually exhibited any of this kind of behavior that would give you this impression beforehand? I think that's at the time, because you said like, you look at how you're behaving. Did he behave in this kind of incendiary fashion at the time? Because we're basing this off of the information.
This is how he always
we're basing
acts.
this off. No, I'm just going to state right now, as somebody who talks to him very regularly, I don't believe that to be the case. I'm asking at the time with the information you had, and not going off what you have now because you didn't have that at the time. Did he behave in this kind of confrontational manner directly to you?
It's not that it's a confrontational manner. It's everything he does and the way he speaks. Okay. I've been to his Twitter. I've seen how he argues with people and how he conducts himself based on, and I'm not making a judgment call saying that's objectively bad or good, because yeah, fucking human beings are different. But based on my personality type and his, no, I don't want to fucking hang out with him. Fuck is wrong with you?
A few things. Firstly, I think the reason you have a problem with it is because you're not used to somebody talking to you like they're your father, and I think you have an issue there. Now, secondly, let's talk about the whole Stockholm syndrome. You're a Chinese buffet waiter. You don't have any sort of certification for psychology, so why don't you put that right back on the armchair intellectual chair?
Here,
this goes right back into it. You go ahead and bring up
chat
personal
here. One more time on the road,
information.
when did you read
go
Vita's
for it.
mind? Why are you trying to get into PP's tinkles? People's tinkles.
Oh my god, Jesus. So yeah, again, look at the shit that you're doing, man. Getting all up in the mic and shit. Is that supposed to be intimidating?
No, it's supposed to make you focus, dum-dum.
It's good television. That's what it is.
That too.
Yeah, it's entertaining for a live stream, but would I want to hang out with something like that? That's different.
You don't have a clue how I
call.
hang out with people, buddy. Not one clue. Not one iota. All you see is, Leo Man says things that make me uncomfortable. Leo Man says things on Twitter that I don't like. I'm a wilting flower. I was calling into question your credentials because that has everything to do with the claims you're making about people's psychological states. It has less to do with the fact that I would ever look down on a Chinese waiter, more than the fact that you have no education to back the claim.
What claims have I made? What claims? What education do I need?
You just claimed people would hang around because of Stockholm syndrome.
Absolutely.
You have claimed other people's.
Yeah.
You claimed other people's mental and psychological states on Twitter, including Vita and Coyotes.
Yeah, Vita sees a fucking therapist. He told me that.
Yes, Vita does, but you are not the therapist, dummy.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, dude. I'm gonna just tell you right now, those are not the kind of comments that are really gonna win you a lot of friends. I mean, even I see a therapist. It doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you think that
either.
doesn't speak to his mental state when he's dealing with all of this fucking drama, you think that's completely unrelated? Okay,
Here, I'll tell you what, Woot. I'll tell you what. You wanted somebody's opinion about how I'm like in real life. Hanging around with people.
I'm not saying it's unrelated. What I am saying, though, using that as a weapon against him, especially in this context, that is pretty fucking scummy. And that's coming like from a fucking personal place as well, because, you know, I deal with a lot of the same shit, and I also see a fucking therapist. You're losing your only friend in the room right now.
I'm not using this to attack him. Leo says I have no qualifications to speak on these issues, as if I'm trying to psychoanalyze stuff. But all I'm doing is putting together shit that he has told me and shit that he's exhibited on Twitter. What college degree do I need to know that purposefully misgendering somebody because you don't like them makes you a transphobe. It's obvious.
Who said
Anybody can
anything
read
about
it.
that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to your psychoanalysis of people. And again, going back to Stockholm Syndrome, you want to know how I actually hang around people and how I talk to them? You really want to
for
know?
it.
Why don't
Yeah.
you ask Tori Evans or Wendy Domino?
As a matter of fact, I will.
Oh, and by the way, you did accuse Vita of being a sociopath. Which is a psychological analysis.
Yeah, based on what I've seen of him, I think he has sociopathic tendencies.
I'm not going to
straight
feel
up.
bad. He
You
said
don't
the same
know
thing
much
about
about
me, so go ahead. Knock yourself out.
I fucking straight up think that Vita has some tendencies, and these are tendencies that help him with drama. If you're able to remove your empathy for another person, you can really pry into them as a person and expose them, right? Now, those are traits that are great for being a drama YouTuber. As a friend, I don't know. Or somebody I want to hang out with? Probably not. Okay.
Wait, Vita has friends?
Does he? Wait, Leo, does he have friends? Do you
I don't
consider
know. Does
yourself
he have
his
friends?
friend?
Because he claims that he doesn't really have friends.
He doesn't have like real friends.
No.
Wait,
He
are
has
you
acquaintance.
fucking? I thought y'all were his friends though.
You're
Me?
assuming an
No.
awful lot there, pal.
Oh, you see, this is where specific words have meanings. We're more of acquaintances. I've met Vita once in real life. Once.
Oh my. Okay.
All right,
Oh my-
Woot.
Yeah,
In
I
all
didn't know
fairness,
that.
and as much as it kills me to say this, is Vita fun to hang around with? Yes. Is it worth the trouble? No.
Jeez,
He's fun to
Louise,
hang out
holy
with
shit.
online.
Holy shit.
Also, you made a claim earlier that you disagree with my views. What of my views do you disagree with?
Disagree with your views. As a matter of fact, I did. Did I make that claim that I disagree? Because I don't really
Yes,
know.
you did.
I don't really know what
And
you
on top of that,
believe
you
in.
just told me you went through my Twitter timeline. Couldn't you think of something?
I don't really know anything about you except how you
Oh my
conduct yourself with other people.
So you know I
Okay.
yell at people that are being stupid. Congratulations, you can figure that out in 5 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
That's not the
fucking
same
like
thing
that.
as
Why
having
does
the-
that? Why
That's not the
is
same
that
thing as having
suddenly
a
become an
values
indictment of? Why does that say? Well, everything we do is an extension of the values that we hold. I'm sure you
Correct.
fucking yeah.
And my value is I yell at stupid people. Is that a negative thing?
It's true.
I think that is absolutely negative. Yeah, that's
So you
my
never
value
so
system.
you've never yelled at a stupid person.
I mean, he is
As a matter of fact-
soy.
I'm
Okay,
a
let me just
really-
clear
I'm a
this
really
up. Leo's
calm-
a
yeah, no, go for
paleocon.
One more time, Rocky. I didn't hear you.
I said Leo's a paleocon.
I don't even know what that means.
A paleoconservative. I think if you found out what that is.
Paleo? Am I from the Paleolithic? I mean, I am old, but
Yes, yes.
I mean, yeah, I kind of went towards archaeology there too, if I'm being fully
oh,
honest.
for the love of God!
Of course, the two furries thought the same
I mean, you're a pretty old fuck, dude.
If you don't stop that, I'm going to take away all your Social Security money.
Okay, look, dude. You're from like I may be from like the Iron Age. You're from the fucking Bronze Age, though, dude. You're a lot older than I am.
If you don't shut up, you're not getting any of the mammoth tonight.
Fuck, damn it. Okay, I gotta shut up, guys.
As drama YouTubers, I think it is part of what you do to make.
I'm not a drama
connections.
YouTuber.
No, he's
You're
Answer
always
your
on.
phone.
You're always on the top of the barrel streams. Come on.
Yes,
Don't act
but
like
no,
you're
not to-
disconnected from
Hold on.
this.
Yes,
Hold on,
but that's
hold on.
not Sarah. Go ahead. What?
I
Yeah.
just wanted to point out how he could come to that conclusion because you are on top of the barrel. In addition to the fact that you are listed on Anthony's channel as drama YouTubers, and I know that's not through any decision of your own, but I can understand where that conclusion would come
let
from.
me explain. He moonlights. He dips.
You
his toe-
moonlight as a drama.
Yes, he moonlights as a drama channel. That's all.
But
There's
I'm
a big
saying-
giant misunderstanding.
As
I'm
part
not,
of,
I understand. I'm just trying to like give him the benefit of the doubt there. I understand where that conclusion could be reached from.
Do you even know what my own channel focuses on, Woot?
Thundercats
Yes.
That and,
toy
other
reviews
80s
and
cartoons.
shit. Yes.
That and other cartoons. So this whole you're a drama YouTuber, dude. Unless there's heavy drama in the Thundercats community, of all 5 of us left,
Yeah.
I highly doubt that's a
Yeah.
very accurate
Woot,
claim.
if you want to get into a real argument with this man, explain to him how the new She-Ra's better than the old one. Anyways,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you not? You don't. Let me guess. You don't like the. But
I
that's
love
kind
the new
of.
one. Are you kidding me? Me and
That's
the missus-
kind of not really the point, Leo.
Yeah.
Can you take it back to what you were trying to say? Because I think you still have to finish some stuff you wanted to
My
say.
point is, you make a lot of really half-hearted claims. You don't really think anything through. You've also failed to launch. I think you should probably spend a lot less time going on Twitter with hot takes and trying to call out other people's problematic issues and work on your own.
Here, Woot, I'll meet you halfway here. I admit I'm a complete piece of shit on Twitter. I don't think you seem to get when you're doing it. I said that at the beginning. You don't seem to get when you're being a jagoff on Twitter.
Well, everybody's a jagoff on Twitter.
Once again, here's my point about that whole little rant you did about my life. Literally none of that has anything to do with what we're talking about. And
but it does by your own admission. By your own admission, it does.
That sort of you put that sort of
said we're an extension of our actions, Woot. So yes.
Yeah, our values are an extension of our actions. But let me ask you, what does Vita being a transphobe have to do with me working at a Chinese buffet? Why did you bring up that I work at a Chinese buffet?
To make a parallel, the fact that number one, you made that person. You made that. Hold on. He asked me. You made that public knowledge in the last stream I was with you in. Secondly, you are making the claim about Vita having not done anything with his life, and you are sitting in the same area. You are a hypocrite.
What did I say? When did I say that Vita isn't doing anything with his life?
Holy crap! Are you kidding me?
Not, but
you made that. That was one of your opening statements about his life.
I said Vita spends a lot of time fucking talking and running his mouth on Twitter. As a matter of fact, he went through like 500 tweets when that first transphobia thing came out. He burned himself out replying to every single person who talked to it.
Yes, and every single one of you who sat there and kept going at him fed into what he wanted, because none of you have had the depths of your ignorance to realize, maybe this person just wants attention.
What's wrong
with so it's up to the victim of what's happening to disengage. Is that because it seems like no. Let me say one more thing, because it seems like you're excusing what Vita does. You're like, oh look, that's just how he is. You guys have to treat him specially. You don't actually.
No, I'm telling you that if you specifically, I'm talking about you. Do you or do you not know that Vita is a drama YouTuber? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you or do you not know that he feeds off these type of things? Yes or no?
That was a good one.
Then maybe you shouldn't have been dumb enough to keep going at it with him, therefore also egging other people to do it by following your example. You specifically were the one being dumb enough to do it.
Oh, I'm dumb, but look at where Vita is compared to where I'm.
You're in the same place. You both live with your parents.
At least in the fandom terms.
You're both nowhere in the fandom terms because you have almost the same amount of subs, and both of you just sit there on Twitter all day.
Vita talked himself into doing what I thought was actually quite impossible, which is talking yourself into being so obnoxious. You actually get banned from a convention for My Little Pony. Like, how does that happen? That's what he did.
Apparently, it doesn't happen if you're certain other people.
Let me explain, Woot. First things first, it's okay to go after kids, but if you misgender people, that'll get you banned.
It's not okay to go after kids.
No, according to the con.
This is their highest priority, not going after kids.
Because here we are 6 months later, they still haven't said a thing about it. And yet, I don't see you chastising them for that choice either.
There's your proof that he's not involved with Mint Heart, because he'd still be invited at all the cons.
That's absolutely
also,
shit.
Another thing I would like to state: you made the insinuation that there's a possibility Vita might have done something inappropriate with me. Because don't you think that's a little inappropriate? Here's the kicker: do you know who Miss Anthropony is, Woot?
Who's Miss Oh wait, no, don't they do like reviews and shit?
Yeah, Miss Anthropony does. Yes.
Yeah.
So what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Miss Anthropony is known Mint longer. So unless you're going to also go ahead and try to play that game with Miss Anthropony, who would body you in terms of followers, I'd recommend you not make stupid claims like that unless you have some really hard evidence.
Dog shit out of you, Woot. Holy crap.
Well, Leo, I don't do this for followers, okay?
You clearly do because you like the attention. It gets your dopamine. Woot need dopamine.
Leo, every time I talk about shit like this in the fandom, I actually lose followers on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I gain those followers from just posting memes and shit. Ever since I started talking about this shit, because it actually fucking matters to me, my follower count has actually gone down. I've pissed off a lot of people from MLP.
They think, because you make stupid points?
They think, oh, damn, man. Woot used to be so cool. Now he's all talking about transphobia and
not
shit.
Posting any
because it's gay. Nobody likes it. It's fucking
exactly. So that point that you're saying I'm doing it for clout or anything, it's a lie.
Well,
there's no clout to be. There's no clout to be gained from here. As a matter of fact,
that's actually incorrect because let's see, you've gained 6 in the past few days here. And let's see, we can go all the way back. We can go all the way back to, when did this happen? Back in August? Let's see here. Can I go that far? Hold on.
You looking at Social Blade right now?
Well, Twitter specific social blades. Looks like your stuff actually tends to peak when you talk about these type of things. So I don't know, buddy. You tell me.
Every time I talk about this shit, I do lose followers, but I do gain some more. If you're trying to insinuate that the only reason I pretend to give a shit about my friends is for clout, that's literally a lie. That's incorrect.
Depends
if
on
I
who you're
really
commenting
there,
as your
buddy.
friends. Are you friends with everybody? Are you friends with every person who you just sat there and talked about Vita retweeting towards that you posted all those links in? Are you friends with every single one of them?
No, I'm not friends with every single one.
Well, are we friends?
I don't. Wait, who are you?
Also,
Well,
your entire back and forth with Vito was because Vito was attacking trans people, not specifically your friends that are trans, but trans people. So yes, I will absolutely say this isn't about you wanting to defend your friends. This is about you wanting to get that dopamine rush because it makes you feel good because you've accomplished nothing else.
Sheba Roll is an artist for BronyCon. Okay, that's who they were attacking.
That's
This was
one
specific.
person he had
this
an
was-
interaction with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One.
And look what happened from it. Jesus Christ, right? What a person to pick. Why would you pick an artist directly
make
from
any statements post BC?
why would you attack the literal artist
I asked you a question.
who works on official?
Tell you what, you either answer me or I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
after
go
this
ahead,
person.
Finger. What was the question? Go for it.
All right. Did Sheba Roll come out against BC after freaking BronyCon when freaking Grizzly got freaking covered? Or did she just say, well, you know, this guy basically misgendered me. That's worth bitching about. Or did she do anything about Grizzly? Because I notice these people don't mind fucking speaking up when it inconveniences them.
You know, that's a really good question, and I don't know if she actually came out against Grizzly. If she didn't,
I'm gonna assume
that kind of fucking reflects badly on her. Yeah.
Hello, Sheldon.
Yeah, sorry.
And as a matter of fact, I'm
sure
going to go on
I'm interrupting.
Sheba's Twitter.
I'd also
right
like to call out a little bit more of your hypocrisy. You claimed in a previous tweet that you are done interacting with the nationalists and the racists. You're going to block all of them. Yet here, and lo and behold, you're still talking to Sheldon.
Absolutely. So I had a conversation with.
Well, me and Woot are friends, so you know.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a bass player that's in my band, and he said, "Look, Woot, you can't. If you actually want to help people, you can't just go on these huge screeds and attack people. You have to actually continue to talk to them." I never blocked Sheldon. All those other people I blocked, not once have I blocked either Sheldon or Vita. And Sheldon, you can attest to this. Have I ever blocked you, Sheldon?
No.
You want to know why? Because I actually fucking care about you. And it hurts me that you're a fucking white nationalist and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what to
Well,
say.
look,
to you,
man,
what to talk to.
I appreciate your care. It's mutual, but you don't have to worry about me. I'm all good.
Yeah, let me
It's all
ask you
good,
a
man.
question, Woot.
What are you worried about?
national
What are you
supremacy.
worried about exactly?
Yeah, hold it, Woot.
We're nice people.
How often?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
How
go ahead.
often do white nationalists really have an effect on your life?
A lot.
I was about to say, yeah, it's right up there with, like, say, Step worrying about Jews affecting his life. Probably none. And you just, like, I
Also,
need something to
I
bitch about.
would-
we
like to
kinda
point-
got Trump elected. Just saying.
So I would like to point one thing here very specifically. If that is true, and I highly doubt, do you really think the best way to convince Sheldon to turn around and repent of what he's doing right now is to blast him publicly on Twitter? Because if you do, you're a moron.
Sheldon follows me and he quote retweets my posts.
Yeah,
That's true, I do.
I respond when he engages me. Okay.
Are
Now,
you concerned
Sheldon-
with him?
Now,
That's
Sheldon,
actually true.
Yeah, actually,
Wootmaster does not respond to what I say. I usually respond to him.
I never
because
said
follow
that
him.
he responds to what you say. I
Yeah.
said putting you
No,
on
I'm not
blast
saying
like
you said that. I'm just clarifying.
Putting
Yeah,
you
and
on blast like that.
you know what,
isn't gonna
Leo?
change Sheldon.
Well,
you're
go ahead.
you know what, Leo? You're absolutely right. That is one of my biggest character flaws is that I don't know how to reach out and help these people other through interacting with them and calling them out on Twitter. It fucking sucks. That's what I do. But in the end, I don't really end up changing a lot of people's minds. And I'm actually really cognizant of that. And it fucking sucks.
Yeah, because we're nice people.
You know, all I want to do then at that point where it's like, okay, I can't.
I don't want to change your mind though. Like, why do you want to change my mind? I don't want to change yours. I just want you. I want you to just feel however you feel. Like, I'm all good with that. Why aren't you?
I can't. I just your ideology and the ideology of white nationalism, and I don't want to turn this into the fucking white nationalism call. Okay,
It would be
because
that's actually
we did that previously. I think
That's why
at the
Rocky
end of
showed
the
up.
other
Are you
call.
kidding me?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
But your ideology is going it leads people down a path of feeling like they're helpless because of demographic shifts, and it makes them feel like they have no other options than to pick up a gun and go and shoot up a place.
Yeah, some of them do. So
You
what?
know, like
Yeah,
socially
some of them
work
do.
with each other.
I'm just reading off from Ryu, our resident Puerto Rican kid.
That's not the most common.
Hold on,
result, though, is
he's
it?
got
No,
something.
it's not a
He's got to
super
read
chat. I
off.
just felt like reading off.
Yeah.
Hearing Woot physically hurts me. He's fucking retarded.
Okay, I want to interject one thing here. You're talking about the possibility of turning to violence. That happens in the ghetto daily. And secondly, you accused Sheldon of eventually turning to violence on minorities. You accused Stepp of possibly doing a school shooting. And you accused Stalin of, by the end of the year, you're going to become a white nationalist. And he's looking very much so to the fact that you're going to owe him 20 by the end of the year.
What is Stepp going to do?
And
Fucking
apparently
men's
school
glee
shooting. But
people to death?
Stepp's not going to do shit because I have
on
a close
top
eye
of
on
all of that, there was a man in barrel still there named Weebus, another black individual, and your response to him being there was to talk down to him like he's stupid and has no agency about where he is, his thoughts, his values, and how he's going to live. And if you do not realize how absolutely damaging that is to your own viewpoint and methodology, then no one can help you.
Is he a white nationalist at this point in time?
Heck no! Weebus is 12 different types of black power.
How can you be a fucking... No,
Well, guess what?
Black nationalists and white
That's-
nationalists actually get along, dude. Okay?
I'll take that. I'll take that L. To be completely honest, I'll take that. Yeah, that's great. As a matter of fact, it's great for me that he's a white nationalist. That's fucking
No, he's
fantastic.
a black nationalist.
Well,
I
not a
don't
black
care.
nationalist. He's not a white nationalist. He's black. He doesn't agree with white nationalism. He'll never care about white nationalism.
I guess he's a centrist. I don't know. Something like that.
No, a black nationalist is a black identitarian that rejects multiculturalism and diversity and shit, and wants whites and
Yeah,
blacks to go their own way.
that's not what Weebus is. Definitely.
Okay.
He's black and he likes music and anime.
And you know what? I did see Weebus's response, and yeah, I did fucking hurt his feelings. Okay, as another black guy, yeah, I'll tell it to him straight up. And if he hates me for that, and if that damages what I'm trying to do, that's on me. But
Well, it's not just that,
this point, yeah, go for it.
Let me level with you here, all right? Let me get this to your point and through your skull. You are the most condescending person I have ever heard, and that's coming from me. You, in the way you talk and conduct yourself, have this completely unearned sense of self-congratulation and self-worth that supersedes anything you will ever say. You act like you are the cock of the walk and you talk like it when you have nothing to show for it. And that's going to kill your ability to communicate with people. And here's the sad thing. I know by your own admission, you're in customer service. So you could maybe, just maybe, tailor some of that skill set into talking to people that you are actually trying to communicate with.
Leo,
Learn from it.
What qualifications do you have to psychoanalyze me? Since earlier you said I'm unqualified to psychoanalyze others. It sounds like
I didn't psychoanalyze you. I tell you how you're talking to people.
You're acting like a cunt.
And that's exactly what I do to other. That's exactly what I do.
That's not
So
the
why
same
did you
thing as
try to-
psychoanalyzing. I didn't
why did
tell
you
you what
try
your
to
mental
bring-
state is.
Why did you try to bring up that other point then? Because it seems like you're doing the exact same thing to me. You're
Holy
trying
crap,
to guess
you're
my
doing.
mental state right here.
No,
Come on,
I'm
Leo.
telling you, if you want to get X thing done, you cannot act like Y thing. And I'm telling you that X way you talk will lead to Y thing not happening. This is not a hard concept for anybody above the age of 5.
Hold on. I think I can describe this a little bit easier. I think what Leo's trying to get at is that sometimes you have to adjust the way you're going to approach a situation. Like I said, I intended to come into the stream very different than I've been behaving, but I adjusted my behavior based on the situation so that I could actually have, there could be communication, and because I realized somebody needs to be at least level-headed and moderate this shit. That's kind of why I changed my approach, and I think that's kind of what he's getting at here.
That's boring, though.
It really is
look,
boring, and I don't like that I have to do this.
When we talked about the claims that I made against Leo, I admitted, yeah, that's fucking incorrect. So I am trying to come to the table and be like, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely fucking right about some of the shit that you've been saying about me. I'm not going to deny shit that's wrong. But look, Sheldon, are you still you talk to these other people and you're friends with them, right? Or acquaintances, I'm sorry.
Well, we interact. We have fun interacting. Sure.
Have any of them been able to dissuade you from your belief in white
No,
nationalism?
not at all. Not remotely.
So you're trying to say my methodology doesn't work, but what's the alternative? Softballing it and just kind of coddling them so that nothing happens?
Exactly. The alternative in this case, when you have somebody who is completely stagnant in their beliefs and will not shift, you don't want to know the best way to let that happen and the way to get them to change. You let them fail. You let them fail miserably, and you still be there for them when it happens. Well, you're never going to get your ethno state. Let's be honest here.
I don't know, man. You'd be
Look,
surprised.
I kind of agree with Woot here, honestly. A lot of these things with politics, they're not really reconcilable a lot of the time. These differences we have in how the world should be or whatever, a lot of the time these can't be changed by just having conversations and talking about it or whatever. It's really a power struggle. It's really a moral battle, as it were. Right. And somebody
politics have always been like that.
That's right. Exactly. And ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to. Right. At the end of the day.
Now, Leo.
And that's fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Leo, I just want to say that what you just said speaks to the fundamental differences we have in our beliefs. Because as you said, you believe in order to get somebody to change, you have to let them fail. Essentially, give them enough rope to hang themselves. Right. So doesn't that kind of sound like what happened with Josh Vita and all the tweets he did? Josh Vita kept going and he burned himself out and got himself banned. I hardly had to do anything.
But he won, you idiot.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't really consider that bad, though, right? Like it's not something that's really bothering them or anything. There's no motivation there to change because it's not something that bothers them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of change, I have a question. You said that who you are is who you are and everybody knows it, right, Woot?
Yeah.
All right then, Blake Henry. Does your grandma know what you do on the internet?
Oh, come on.
No, I just want to know. I'm not going to go anywhere with that in terms of I'm not going to call his grandma. I just want to know.
First off, I just want to correct you because you've been kind of incorrect this entire time. My grandmother's dead. I live with my mother. Her name is Tanya Henry. All right. And yeah, she does know what I do. Okay.
Single?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you want a new stepdad?
All right, I'm tired.
You know what? I think I'm good. I'm still in contact with my dad. He's actually living in New Orleans. Yeah,
9:30. You go to bed in my house.
But yeah, Leo, again, Leo, I don't see the point of you coming at it from such a personal spot. That's really weird.
Because everything comes down to personal spots, whether you want to acknowledge that or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Leo, I'm able to talk with you without having to basically know your entire life.
Well, I mean, you don't.
Okay, is that how you engage with people?
Well, I engage with people. I engage with people on any level. It doesn't matter to me. It's not about winning. It's about getting the thought across.
I like to apologize. 2 hours ago, I know hateful wanted me. I'm like, oh fuck. Well, too late now.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm saying I'm just gonna disagree with your kind of methodology of looking up all this shit. And as a matter of fact, I did tell you some of that stuff, which is weird that you got the grandmother thing wrong, but that's okay.
I honestly couldn't remember if it was your mom or grandma, so I just went with what I thought was correct.
I think your methodology, again, it paints a picture of me of a person I wouldn't want to fucking hang out. That's fucking super weird that you go.
Oh man, you don't want to go smoke a ball and throw the ball around.
Nah, man, you attack it at that angle, and that I don't think that really helps your argument. It's good for YouTube. It's good for streams, but
what argument am I trying to make here? You think that it hurts?
You're trying to paint me as somebody who is on Vita's exact same level because we're both at the same places in life. But the fact of the matter is, you don't really know much about what I like to do.
I don't need
things and what I do at cons. You don't know
I also don't know
Yeah.
what Vita does outside of what he shows everybody else either. So,
And
in fairness,
yeah.
you're equal on that level. And here's the kicker. Let me be very clear here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sorry. This is Joe Group. In my opinion, when it comes down to what you've both done, you're equally worthless.
You know what? I'll take that. Coming from you, that's a bit of a compliment, to be completely honest.
The only difference is Vita's fun to play video games with. You probably just whinge and whine about what's problematic about it.
Oh my god, are you gonna call me a lefty libtard SJW?
I mean,
Not
I
words
didn't
I
that.
not well. In fairness, no. In fairness, I use those words very, very, very rarely.
Okay.
SJW
Well, yeah,
is fucking
I'll tell you,
cringe.
I
Don't
won't
use that term.
whine about what's problematic. As a matter of fact, I have problematic beliefs, especially about art, as I'm sure you
Can
know.
I ask a dumb question?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I've noticed that people say problematic when a lot of times you could just say that's a problem. Why did you have to Tumblr it up?
But that's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the same
but why
thing,
did they
dude.
have
It's
to
just-
use the
it's-
Tumblr vernacular though?
It's
I
a
use the word
modern
toxic
kind of
sometimes.
yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Like-
wind up playing For Honor on the Japanese side. You complaining there's no
I'm
black
waiting to hear
people.
whether Rocky or Step starts talking about right privilege or.
Oh
Sheldon.
no, no!
No,
That's a good
let's
topic.
not
I'm
let's
not
not
bringing
go
that
there.
in here.
Let's go
No.
there.
Let's not go there.
There's a
Now,
time and place.
you
I
know,
think at the
you
base
know.
of it, the criticisms you have of me on the point of me bringing up shit that is unsubstantiated, that's absolutely dead on. And you didn't have to go through all that personal shit just to get to that point. Like, you're
It really bothers
absolutely
you, doesn't
correct.
it? It really bothers you, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Then why are you harping on it so hardly?
I'm just saying, I'm trying to reach across to you and saying, yeah, you're right about that shit, and I need to do better on that instance. You're absolutely fucking right. So what else do we have to talk about?
I think the new Star Wars was garbage.
Now, Leo, to bring it actually to one more thing, do you believe that what Vita did was transphobic, or do you disagree?
I leave the assertion of transphobic or not transphobic generally to trans people. I don't think it was.
Joke.
I don't think it was right. It's against my moral values, and I've said so much to him to his face multiple times.
Then I think, Leo, we don't have anything else we should be talking about, to be
Hey, Woot.
completely honest.
Give it
Yeah,
time.
what's good?
Want to grab a beer later and talk, like, privately?
Oh Lord.
No, dude, I've got to masturbate. I've been fucking putting off this. I've been putting off this Willie. I've got in my
After
pants
you
for a
coom,
while now.
okay.
Yeah, you can't make time for both. Come on.
No, it's gonna be a marathon
have a
session.
It's going to be a long session, a long session. Yeah.
Okay, like when I get off of like calls and shit, you gotta relieve some stress. You gotta let it out.
Have you
I gotta
considered
put it
just
into-
working
Stress.
out?
Well,
Just a
Wait.
lift.
what's
Well,
stressful?
after you coom,
Are you
you're not
stressed?
going to pass out after you coom.
No, I think. Thank you for the offer, but I think I'm good.
All right.
I've got
All right.
some shit I've got to work on with
All right.
myself, as
Let's-
Leo said.
Let's call.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Have fun.
Have a
thinking
good
of-
night, Blake Henry.
Have fun thinking of Woot Masters